All right. Welcome back after the longest hiatus of all fucking time to Content Complete podcast featuring myself, Spencer, and my friend Matt with the NFL Gaming TV,
Yo.
and Fistcake.
Howdy.
And for this special episode, we're going to be discussing Resident Evil 8 Resident Village. And both Matt and Fistcake played the game. I hung out as usual, but I do have my own thoughts about story and characters and how things work. But these two will primarily be talking about their own lived experience within the game. We're going to start off discussing the setting and the atmosphere, and potentially, how that compares to Resident Evil 7. And we're going to jump right into it. There's going to be spoilers all over the place. If you don't want spoilers, then I guess just beware.
Yeah. I mean,
spoilers beware. We're not going to worry about a spoiler thing or anything like that. We're just going to talk about the game fluently.
See, this is fine. This is an optional thing you can go out of your way to watch versus like people talking on Twitter like, I don't think Ethan really was that bad at the end. After I'm like, oh, no, exit, go. No, don't talk about him. Don't talk to anybody. Don't talk about anybody. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's like people don't care anymore, right? It's like they don't. Like nobody has any type of decorum or concern. They just assume everybody's playing at the same speed that they are, and no warning. You just can't go anywhere now. Like when you care about the way something ends, you just have to avoid the internet entirely.
We live in a goddamn society. We need to, follow by the rules. But for setting an atmosphere, for me, honestly, it's just like Ethan went to Resident Evil 4 and the Resident Evil 7 engine. That's pretty much the feeling I get from it.
It did have a Resident Evil 4 vibe, right?
It's a European village. These people are like not, up to date. They don't do modern stuff. Yeah, and like you're shooting villagers that have like sickles and stuff. Although no, I mean for me that's pretty much how I felt. I'm like, oh yeah, this is just Resident Evil 7, but now we're doing we're hanging out in a village, and holy shit, it's a lot of fun. But I did like the go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the funniest thing for me and something that Matt and I noticed basically right away was nobody has an accent.
Everybody was American.
Everybody was just American. They didn't even try.
I did. Yeah, that was like that for me. I was like, oh, okay, but I was already asking like billions of other questions about the story at that point. I was like, yeah, no, whatever, that's stupid. What's going on here? What's this?
I just thought it was kind of funny that they just went with it. Like they just, it acted. Yeah, we're somewhere in Europe, and also nobody has an accent. Don't fucking worry about it. It's fine. Also, the guy with the weirdest voice is the one that looks the most American, which was Heisenberg.
Fucking
and he just talked funny.
Looking.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Heisenberg was fun, but I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like I really like let me think. The village itself, definitely Resident Evil 4 vibes. The giant fish monster fight. I literally thought that as soon as I saw the boat that we saw later on, that I was like, oh, it's going to be another lake fight, but that was a different thing. It turns out to be. And yeah, towards the end, we're like, yeah, no, Mother Miranda's like said, fuck this. We are just going to destroy this village with tentacles. And you kind of get to see that whole section. It's like, oh, all right, that's pretty cool. It's all in all, love it. Good atmosphere, good setting. It's just all pretty good stuff. I enjoy it. What did you think, you two? Well, Matt, since you played it, I'm sure I said something a little bit.
I thought it was good. I think it was less scary overall than RE7. A less of a, I don't know, foreboding atmosphere than RE7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, less of a consistent...
until you get to the boat. Like, this seemed way more geared toward action.
Yeah.
I thought the castle was cool. I thought the castle was empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the castle feels like a normal like Resident Evil manor or mansion or something, but yeah, like you said, it feels like there's like a lot less there, which makes sense after you're like, oh, it's only like the first quarter of the game. Like, oh, okay,
Right.
I guess we're not
Yeah. Going
we're
into
not
it, you
hanging as
almost
much as
feel
we
like,
thought.
especially when you're getting towards the end of the castle, you feel like, man, this is kind of like I thought this was going to be more of the game,
Mm.
and especially compared to I think the next two sections, it's definitely like the castle part is like like it feels like 30% of the game, and then the next two sections are kind of like small little bite-sized sections, like little vignettes, and then you have uh the factory, which is like another big chunk, like another 30%. This is what it felt like to me. I did
Oh yeah.
like how the different houses that you went to had their own like little existence, kind of. The castle felt very medieval, and it just lived medieval, with I
Mm.
don't know 1940s technology. I don't even know what like.
I don't know. It didn't really feel medieval. It felt Victorian.
Okay, okay, yeah, it's probably better actually. Is Victorian, which is closer to when industrialization and technology would exist anyway, so that makes sense. But then like the dollhouse was probably for me the most tense part of the game, horror game wise, with the
Hmm.
baby, mainly just the baby. That thing was
Yeah,
terrifying. We're getting
like
into
you knew
story
the
and
entire
characters for a
time
second, but
something
that's
was getting. Oh yeah, no. I was about to say like yeah, no. Like once you start that, it's the dollhouse and like you lose all your weapons and stuff. It's like oh,
oh,
they're not. There's some shit's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to run away from something. I did not expect the baby. I was like, what the fuck? Nope, gotta get out of here. But yeah,
we'll talk
the
more about the
general
baby in a
doll.
bit, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
the
house was.
dollhouse.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna agree with you that the dollhouse area was very very good atmospheric. I liked the Fishman area too. Um, Unfortunately, like with that, like you're once you like start that area, you kind of don't really get a whole lot of. It doesn't feel like you get a lot of time to explore because it's just like, oh my god, he's out there, and if I
Being
dig
fishy.
around too long, yeah, if I dig around too long, he's gonna like swallow me whole somehow.
Yeah, yeah, that one felt like
But
you're being pushed forward a lot in that area.
yeah, but and then yeah, the Heisenberg factory, very cool
That was
too.
probably my least favorite place.
Now, is
Really?
that because of the setting or just because of the rest of it? Like the factory, the way it looked, it definitely felt like some older Resident Evil games. Resident Evil games seem to always have like a section that's like an underground facility
Or
type
boat.
vibe, or
Or a,
yeah,
I just felt it was samey.
it does.
And
Yeah, it's like a labyrinth of the same.
I don't know. It just wasn't
Yeah.
that interesting to run around in. I thought the enemies
Yeah,
were
fair.
cool.
Yeah, like come out with like 3 different enemy types in the same area. It's like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Holy
But
shit!
yeah, I felt like if the factory was like 25% shorter, it would have been better.
it was a bit long.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, okay, we'll talk about it later. But
Yeah, put a pin in it, dude. I was
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
think I
say,
know a section I would cut out, but I think we'll get to that in a second. But
yeah, I was just gonna say, I thought it was nifty to have the vendor guy Duke be on the elevator so he could follow you around. I thought that was kind of an interesting way to deal with trying to have multiple levels in one building, but still having access to the guy and not having him move around, but you
Mhm.
like move him to you. And I thought that was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Cool.
very
I mean,
very cool.
any other thoughts about setting an atmosphere besides that? Because uh, is there any section we didn't talk about, like as far as parts of the map?
um,
Um, no, I mean not. I mean, I don't think so. We got the Heisenberg factory, and then you got the finale, which is the village just being ran over, and then you got
Yeah.
the final boss fight. Which the final boss fight area actually is pretty cool. I really enjoy it. It's all evilly, I guess that's the easiest
Yeah.
way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
it just looks
very
like evil.
evil.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh
I mean, I
yeah,
think
that's a
atmospheric
not.
wise, the first part is definitely like the most tense and scary.
For you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like going through the
Oh yeah, for sure.
cornfield and the scarecrows.
Oh, that's
I
true.
I
That was pretty. Yeah.
literally was like, I put money on one of these scarecrows
coming to life.
and freaking me out.
Yeah, it's easy to forget like how you feel in your first moments in the game, but now that I think about it, going through the cornfields and trying to like get into that woman's house in the beginning, Louisa, and that whole section, you think something's going to happen at any time. Like, like even at the very beginning when you're going through, when it opens up after the car crashes and you're walking through the snow, that part was really stressful because you can't see in front of you because for some reason he chose to point his flashlight at the ground.
The classic Ethan.
Classic Ethan.
Mhm.
We'll get to that in a second, but but and so you can't really see in front of you, and you're hearing all these sounds, and I think the opening of the game and entering the village and your first moments in the village, after the initial trying to defend yourself, and the shock of like I have like 5 bullets and there's 30 of them.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
I think
The Resident Evil
they did a very
games
good
always
job
have
with
a-
the intro.
Yeah, for sure. The Resident Evil games always have this weird thing where like it starts as survival horror, and then like as you progress through the game, it's like just fucking you gotta shoot them all. So just whatever survival gunner, I guess it's
Yeah,
or
it
horror
starts
horror
as
gunner.
like yeah, it starts as survival horror, and then it goes into okay, no, so you're gonna use the grenade launcher and you're
Right.
gonna blow them up.
I gotta
on a
survive.
boat.
Hold on, let me put my grenade launcher.
Yeah,
God damn it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. That does happen a lot with but yeah, I don't know. We went back to the intro again recently, and I was just like, wow, yeah, they really did a good job making you feel like anything can happen right now
Mhm.
in the beginning.
Mhm.
Your first playthrough is definitely super tense. The second playthrough after you played Mercenaries, you're God.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh yeah,
Nothing like you know what's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
it takes all that suspense and stuff out.
no. You
of
know,
it.
yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I know. I deal with these before, easy peasy. If
It's
you play
so
on the
good that they locked
PC,
Mercenaries behind after
Yeah.
you beat the game, because that if you could play that first, it ruins
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah, all the
It
mystique.
ruins all the enemies
Yeah,
because you're not scared anymore.
no, yeah,
It
makes sense.
ruins everything.
yeah, for sure. But definitely
Now
good
with
that they blocked that.
with a PC, you can like switch the mouse and keyboard to like almost Call of Duty mode with how sensitive you can make it. So I played it like normally at first with a controller, and then like I was playing Mercenaries, and I was like, I feel like I could do better. Let me see what I can do with the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can like basically turn it into like a fucking Call of Duty with that. So
That's
gonna
exactly what
be
Matt said. He
interesting
put the he put the sensitivity of everything like maxed out on the controller because Matt was playing on the PS5, and and it maxed everything out, turned off all the aim assist, and he's like, now it's a shooter.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. It's just it's so crazy how quickly it changes just from adjusting the settings.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's move on to story and characters. I think it might be easier to start with talking about characters first, and then we can kind of talk about the overall story. Because I want to get to it. I want to get this out of the way. All right, let's talk about Ethan. I just want to talk about Ethan. And
Well, honestly,
just wanna
we
talk. I
are
just wanna talk.
the dissenting opinion on Ethan. 'Cause I was reading the Reddit. Everybody loves him.
Mhm.
Everybody thought that his story was great, and I thought he was a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And like
he's so dumb.
he's so stupid, and it's not even like they like he's stupid like in a video gamey way. Like it's like they wrote him to be stupid.
Yeah.
He's consistently stupid.
His decision making,
Yeah.
his
Stupid.
quips,
His quips, yeah.
his comments about things like, oh, not if I have anything to say about it. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Shut up, Ethan. You just got bashed through the
floor.
ground. Like,
Right.
what are you what
Yeah,
are you
after, like, he
talking
gets
about?
mashed
You
through,
make
like,
no
3
sense.
floors, and he's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, well, I'd like to see you try. Oh god, let me cough up this chunk of wood out of my lung.
But like, and it sucks that it happened so early on. But there's a moment at Louisa's house
yes.
Mm.
where that was it for Ethan. Like he just died to us as a character for his
Really?
stupidity.
Well, let's break it down for a second. So what happens? You're in the house. You got a bunch of characters in there. Something goes wrong. The house is on fire.
Clearly, the dude is like the father of the girl or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
is
the old-
clearly going to turn.
Yeah, clearly going to turn, which is fine, right? We get that. There's the whole like dramatic irony of the player knowing what's going to happen before the character does, and you get to this point where you build up the relationship with Elena, and you're helping her out, and you get out into the garage. And you're like, okay, we got to escape together. And I'm like, oh, cool. He's going to have like kind of a side chick or some shit. I don't know.
New
and-
wife.
Okay, so the plan is we're going to get in this truck, and I'm thinking, Matt's thinking, the world's thinking, I'm going to back out through the garage door, which is visible behind the truck. The truck has a garage door behind it.
Made out of wood.
Made out of wood. We went back and looked.
Yeah,
And on
we
the second
watched a
playthrough-
video to see
notice
what it was,
that.
if it was made out of, because this was so fucking stupid to me. we're playing the game, okay, and I have my hand off the controller as he's like going to go to bash the place that's not the thing behind him.
Yeah.
The wooden door,
Let's make it clear. He's going to try to drive through bricks here in a second.
bricks, and then concrete.
And then concrete. We looked.
Okay.
It's concrete.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
just flabbergasted at this man's decision making.
Elena doesn't say shit. Like, how?
But yeah,
She's
so we
probably-
went back
I mean,
and
she just
watched
shot
a
her
video
dad
of
in the
someone.
face, though.
Yeah, we went back and watched someone play a video of a part of that game because I was like, maybe there's because I didn't look behind me, so I was like, maybe there was something there, like it wasn't gonna happen. No, it's
Yeah.
just like this was his idea, and these are the same ideas he's had throughout the whole game. He's consistently stupid. It's so like it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
like, how do you?
And then he crashes it through the thing, and he's like, "All right, it didn't work the first time. That's cool. I'll just rev up and then hit it again."
Then he's like fucking deep, like does a wheelie off the truck. Fucking turns. What turned the truck?
The wall.
It's like
did.
all straight. What happens? Like
Yeah.
He
it
did
does
the
a
Halo
barrel
push.
roll after he hits the concrete wall that he thought he could go through with half a truck. Like it's so
And
like
then they go upstairs, and Elena just dies.
yeah, which makes almost no sense because
The Game of
she
Thrones
just killed her dad. She shot him
Yeah.
right with a shotgun,
Mhm.
and now all of a sudden, because he said a goddamn name, got a cock back aim. Eminem.
It's an Eminem line.
She's gonna go and be like, I guess I'll hang
guess
out
I'll
with
just-
them in the fire and the flames.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Right.
they did not carry on.
No, they did not. Yeah, that was a moment where it was really hard because as a player, you want to just be like, okay, it's fine. Maybe this is like the one time it's gonna happen, or you try to come up with reasons in your brain. That's why Matt like almost like gaslit himself into thinking maybe I missed something with the truck and the wall. You didn't. They just
No,
didn't
yeah.
render that part of the map. They just didn't make a part of the map that.
I don't think
could
that was
exit
it.
through
I
the
think
truck.
they literally are like, he's an idiot. Let's give him bad ideas. And then
Potentially.
that's
But then everyone talks about him like he's this. At first, they're like, okay, Ethan, just stay out of it. And then after a while, they're like, people start giving him some type of, I don't know, like, oh, you're more formidable. They say you're just as formidable as people said you were, right? Like he has like this thing about him that apparently is he's smart or he's intelligent as like a fighter or a combatant. And then the whole time you just have scenes of him where people are trying to
bumbling around
like-
like a baby.
bash into his brain like, hey, look, so your baby is like really important, and also it's already like there's already this thing happening, and he's like, yeah, but like give me my daughter back. You're like, we can't because there's this thing happening, and maybe if we work together, he's like, no, you better give me my daughter back. Like he just doesn't think. I don't know. It's very,
Yeah.
it's
and it's just all in line with like his quips, everything. Just he's so stupid. Like he's like he buys into his own like I'm a badass, bitch. No, like your quips are
See,
bad.
That's the funny part is I like Ethan for all the same reasons you hate him, because he is like at first like, yeah, it's really dumb, and like, well, yeah, he's saying stupid quips and whatnot, but I kind of like got to think about it, this dude literally 4 years ago, he is dumb. He went to a random house in Louisiana to find his wife that's been gone for 4 years. Yeah, he's dumb. I mean, that's just it.
Oh,
But the
shit.
fact that like that Craigslist ad, essentially, you know, not a
He got
Craigslist
an
ad,
email.
but, you know, yeah, he got an email, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll go do that." And it boiled into all this shit where he's like thrusted upon, and he's become like a weird Wolverine guy, and he's just out there doing his best. He's like, I'm just trying to find my daughter. I don't really give a shit about what's going on here. Can I just give me the daughter that is mine? And I enjoyed his quips with like Miranda at the very end, where she's like, "You have no use for her," blah blah blah. He's like, "Why don't you fucking get? She's my daughter, not yours. Fuck off. Just get your own." Sorry, yours died.
Get your own.
300 years ago or
Oh
whatever.
wait.
Oh wait, she died.
Sucks to suck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Use one of your other 4 children that you've manipulated into.
They weren't good enough.
But yeah,
dude.
the only thing I don't like about it's not even about Ethan. It's like kind of like what happened to Ethan. Not that like he died. I mean, it's fine that he died. I thought. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's whatever.
Kind
It's
of
just
an
that it was
little
weird.
twist.
Yeah, it was just weird that it happened so suddenly. Like you didn't really see it coming because you know he's like survived all this shit before.
Yeah.
And then Miranda rips your heart out. I'm like, oh, okay. What's going to happen is that he's going to like regenerate near the heart. But then she crushes it. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Well, at that point, it's
That's-
not revealed that he's mold,
Yeah.
right?
No,
I thought that was
yeah,
pretty cool,
no.
actually.
But yeah, we didn't know that until they
Well,
revealed it.
He's had like semi regenerative properties from Resident Evil 7, not necessarily up to
Yeah.
the point where he can do the like I would like when she ripped his heart out. I'm like, well, there might be a chance that he can kind of recover from that. I don't know.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Just because like he's been stabbed and shot and mutilated, you know.
His hand got cut
But-
off, and then he just poured some shit on it, and then reattached it, and he's good to go.
Well, you do that in Resident Evil 7 too. There's like an optional section
your
with Jack
leg.
where
Yeah.
with your leg. He's like, hey, you can just put it back on, just slap some of this shit on there. It's good to go. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
And even in Resident Evil 7, Ethan the entire time is going, what the fuck? I'm just trying to find my wife. Can I have my bioterrorist wife, please?
Mm.
She's
Well, in RE7, it makes a lot more sense that he's an idiot. But like
Yeah.
in this, he's just stupid. Like there's also another good example of when he's going to the dollhouse or whatever, and he sees visions of Mia that are clearly there to fuck with him, and then he's just like, "Yeah, that's really her."
Mia?
Yeah, and you're like, "Are you It has the kid. Like,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you already know that your kid
Is not with Mia.
is in jars. Like the
Yeah.
Duke tells you that.
Yeah.
Great character, by the way. Love him.
Oh, Duke is amazing.
But
top tier.
he just like, I'm like, how are you this fucking dumb?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, anything to do with like the hallucinations and the ghost parts, I will agree that he probably should have been like, oh, this seems
Yeah.
off. He shouldn't.
here
he
they
shouldn't
go
be, like,
fucking with
all
me
in.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be like, this doesn't seem right, but I need to figure out what's going on. Versus like, oh my god, it's my wife who I saw got shot 35 times and 5 times in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Mia?
And
I knew she
he's
wasn't
like,
dead to begin with. I figured, well, not dead, but I figured they were doing something special with her. But we'll get to her. Sorry, I forgot
No,
we
it's fine.
were doing this in
Yeah.
different characters. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. I guess there were just one too many scenes with Ethan where he was presented with something like that, where there's like a clear kind of automatic assumption you make as a player who has seen just as much as the character has, right? You know just as much as he does, and you're like, yeah, no, this is clearly a trick, or yes, you should be doing this right now, or you should react in this way, and then he's like, what?
yeah.
No.
And it's so weird because you read all these documents throughout the game, right?
Yeah.
And it's Ethan reading the shit, right? He never comments on anything.
Yeah.
The first thing you pick up as Chris that you can read, he fucking talks about it.
Oh, that's true.
So
Yeah.
at first I was like, this must just be for the people. Maybe he's not really reading it. No. If Chris is reading the shit and he comments on it, Ethan reads the same shit, not same shit, more shit. He knows more.
Yeah, he should know the whole history of everything.
Motherfucking stupid. Doesn't
Here's my
react. Doesn't
theory.
talk about it.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yeah, what's your theory?
I feel like Ethan's illiterate, and so he's just picking up the papers, and he's just like, "Oh, okay." I mean, it looks important. I can't read it, but whatever. I'm obviously a joke.
I
but
think
yeah.
I think
I didn't
so
notice
here-
that.
Yeah, here's my actual thoughts on it. I think Ethan, he's a mold person, right? He's got a mold brain.
Yeah.
No, but for real. My actual thing, I just thought about like, oh shit, he's just a mold guy, whatever. So you don't know that, so you're like, why is he so dumb? He's like, he's just mold, all right? What can you expect, all right? Do you expect mushrooms to have thoughts, No, that's fungus. But
Yeah, his whole mold thing is kind of that
right?
twist is still. I imagine that what they're gonna do is add like what they did with Resident Evil 7 is add like DLC that kind of explores different stories and whatnot. Because like I feel like Mia should have gotten like a lot more time, especially since how important she was in the previous game and how she's like the one that knows about Ethan's secret, even though Ethan somehow doesn't know, which is I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like
But what I was gonna say is
I feel like he would like be privy to something, but
right, exactly. I think he's definitely written purposely to be delusional and to be completely distracted by the trauma of what happened to Mia and trying to find his daughter, to the point where he like willfully ignores other possibilities in the game. Like he's presented multiple times with an alternate route, and he stubbornly just goes with what his initial plan was, which is find my daughter and fucking get the
bash through this brick wall,
and
the concrete wall.
Like he's like, which it doesn't create like a great through line as a player, because as a player you kind of grow in knowledge and you kind of learn what's happening, and you're putting things together in your brain, and you're thinking, ooh, maybe the hag is Miranda or some stuff like that, right? And then Ethan's like, I gotta find my daughter the whole time, and so it feels weird, but I definitely think it was purposeful. Like it just feels obvious.
He's too consistent.
He's too consistently dumb.
Yeah, like the character is too consistent to be, this was an accident.
Yeah, because I'm going to say right now, I agree with Heisenberg. I think he should have teamed up with Heisenberg from the beginning. I think Heisenberg made a great point, and Ethan just would not listen to him. Like,
I wouldn't take a deal with the other, any of the four lords, especially with after seeing all his fucking propeller boy,
propeller man,
other things, other things he's worked on. I mean, even before it's like why would I? Well, like the guy, as soon as he sees you, like fucking stabs you with iron and.
Oh right, and he puts you through like a death maze. Yeah. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe there is reason for him not to trust you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't sit in the fucking chair that is precariously
that's right beside
positioned.
an
it's
open.
So fucking obvious.
Oh yeah, that he's gonna get kicked down to the hole.
And Ethan's like, guess I'll take a seat. Oh, fuck you. I'm not. Whatever, dude. Daughter and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about Chris. Fuck Chris.
Well, one more thing before we get to Chris. I will give Ethan points for knowing that he's about to fall down, and he's still like, fuck you, and like, let's go of Heisenberg versus Heisenberg.
Oh,
Heisenberg does let him go, but Ethan's like already like let go. So like, that was like Heisenberg. Well, okay, well, that was probably, I have to otherwise.
That was definitely the most badass moment for Ethan. Like,
yeah, but it's still like a 3 out of 10 on badass scale, because you're like, you could avoid that whole situation by not being there. You could just shoot him.
Yeah. No, these
true.
The whole thing was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Honestly,
was still like, fuck you,
Matt. To your point, if people in the Resident Evil games had logic, Resident Evil would probably have been stopped at 2, maybe 3. But most of these games are people just trying to revive their dead sons and daughters through biomechanical means. So
it's true.
Unfortunately, everybody's stupid. Everybody's stupid in Resident Evil. It's just including Chris.
Who, by the way, isn't safe from our judgment.
No,
Oh no.
no.
My number one thing, right before even like we talk about Chris in the game, is that they changed him again after changing him in 7 appearance wise. It's just very
He's only been consistently the same looking in 2 games in a row.
hmm.
Why did they change him so much?
I don't. They just
I
want to
don't
make
know.
him buffer. I don't know.
That's
like,
probably
I
why
think
they didn't give
I think with
Ethan a
7
face.
Yeah,
Oh shit, Ethan doesn't
I
have
think
a
with
face.
I think 7 was supposed to be like the reboot of Chris, where he's supposed to look like a normal person, and then people were like, but he can't obviously punch
Hashtag
boulders
not
with
my
that.
Chris.
Yeah, and so they beefed him up a lot.
Yeah, he hit the gym.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Dude, he's a
he
beefy
ate a mole
boy.
person.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a beefy boy. He's also a fucking idiot. So in the beginning of the game, he could have just, in fact, at like 9 times in the game.
9 times.
Every time you meet him, or it's not an exact number, but it feels like it's pretty exact. I'm just going to go with it. 9 times. 9 times in the game, he talks with Ethan. They have a conversation. He could just explain. There's like 3 sentences he could say at any point, and then Ethan will understand.
There's just one. Mia was Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mia was.
That's it.
As simple as like, that wasn't your wife.
Yeah.
She wants your daughter. We're gonna keep you both. We're gonna go take you somewhere safe.
Yeah,
But
those are the 3
instead,
sentences.
he shoots the whole house down, kidnaps the daughter,
Flips off
beats
Ethan.
Ethan up, beats him up.
Yeah.
That's maybe why he's so stupid. He has a concussion.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Probably
It smushed the
concussion
mold.
canceled into a
And
car wreck. You know.
His whole fucking reason, and I just laugh. I just laughed when he said this. His whole reason was he didn't want to get Ethan involved. That was his reason.
Yeah, that was his
Yeah.
reason. And it's like, okay, if you want someone to get involved real quick, you don't explain shit to them and hurt them.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Why did you move me to Europe where crazy Miranda lives?
Yeah. They're there because he said so, and then and then he attacks Ethan. Man, Ethan must have felt so betrayed. Like, I'm surprised Ethan didn't talk more about that, because like he trusted this guy to protect his family, and then he comes in, shoots his wife, beats the shit out of him, steals his child,
And
leaves
doesn't
him
say
for dead.
shit.
And the next time we see him, he's like, "Yeah, okay,
No,
Ethan,
he
whatever,
said-
fuck
he
off.
said-
I'm annoyed."
Yeah, he said, "Don't, Ethan." You know, he did say one thing.
He said
I'm
don't.
sorry.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
he
right,
said
you're
don't.
right.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
You made a good point.
Yeah. I forgot he said don't. That's on me, really.
Yeah, no. Oh, at that point, Ethan should have known.
Yeah,
No.
don't.
Don't. I was never taught don't as a child.
Ethan's so stupid. He's like, don't what? Don't make intelligent decisions? Okay.
Don't give up
Check.
on my daughter.
But the whole thing
Yeah,
he
like
could have
that-
just said. It was so stupid.
And he
Such
feels
a
bad at the
stupid
end,
secret.
and he should.
Yeah, he should feel
He
really
only,
bad.
yeah, he feels bad because he like Ethan dies, and then but even before that, like he reluctantly tells Ethan what's going on as he's like hooking up like a fucking death machine on wheels. He's like, "Fine, I guess you should probably know now that you're 3/4 in the game. So here's what's going on. Let me calibrate this thing while I talk to you." It's like,
Yeah.
okay, now you're gonna explain it.
Yeah.
Why didn't
and
you
you
explain
think
it
you're
before
gonna
you
get
shot
like
my wife?
some storyboard shit. And it's just like 4 sentences. And you're like, this is why? Also, this is made out of a special metal.
Oh, yeah, the special metal bit.
The polymer metal.
Matt was walking into that. So you get this big death machine right before you go to fight Heisenberg. He's like, you need to use this thing to fight Heisenberg. It's made out of a special polymer or a metal, combination where he can't control it because he controls magnetic fields. And Matt looking at every single fucking thing, because I think Matt at this point was just fed up. He was just like, okay, so the gun is made completely out of the special metal. Oh, the screws into the vehicle are made out of the special metal. This seat and every tiny bit is like.
I didn't get to that part. I was like, what about the bullets and the stuff?
The bullets.
The bullets.
What about the bullets, though? Are they? I don't think. Whatever. Okay.
These are special metal bullets.
I mean, to be fair, the thing is sick as hell, and it's really cool. It just
It's really
doesn't.
cool.
It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Logically,
I'm excited to ride that, but this is stupid. Just so you know,
that's
I'm gonna
exactly.
enjoy this, but it is stupid.
Yeah. I think it's the only thing that you could really give a pass, because you're like, well, it is sick though. So
It's got a chainsaw on there for guarding. You guard with a chainsaw.
yeah, you don't actually attack with a chainsaw. I thought that was funny. You just guard with it. It's a chain block. It's a blockchain.
Oh my god.
It's
Bitcoin. Resident Evil 9 NFTs. Oh my god.
Other than that, though, those are the two major criticisms I have about the characters.
Yeah, just the two
I
main.
like Mia. I thought,
Mia was actually.
Mia was the only
I bet
competent
we're gonna-
person out of the
Well, Mia
humans.
Mia only had 5 minutes of screen time.
Exactly. She didn't have time to fuck up. That's why I liked her. Out of everybody that was normal.
Oh, wait, no, you know what? She could have told Ethan about him being a fucking mold man,
That's true.
Maybe,
Hey, honey, you know how
maybe
you can regenerate and if you have put your arm through a chainsaw or some shit and then you just pull some health juice on it? That's not normal. That health juice is just water.
I put some Miracle Grow in that shit. And
Okay,
that'd been like a hilarious plot twist. That all the first aids, it's just like, oh yeah, that's just whiskey that we kept around. I don't know why it has a green tint. To
why does it
I
work? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
I think she knew before they kind of both knew that they had a bit of the mold or whatever on them because they both can regenerate since she was there
Right.
longer than him. And
I'm just imagining her living her life being married to a mold man and just everything just
Have
has
a
to smell
kid.
like mildewy and just kind of off, and there's just
I-
nothing she can do about it. She's just always
Right.
spraying like a Febreze just to kind of get through life.
hmm
the whole family's made out of mildew now, so it's mold.
It's like you better not bring
She's
bleach into this
mold.
house.
Right? She's mold, he's mold, the baby's mold. Fuck.
Yeah.
The only sanitary thing is the house itself.
Yeah.
In Ethan, he just doesn't realize that his wife has been switched out. Like in the intro, right? She's reading that story, the
Yeah,
creepy
she's talking
story,
real sus.
and she flips like a dime, like something ain't right with her.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, she's pissed, and then she goes,
Like women, huh?
she's like, all right, that was weird. Okay, and then he never thinks any more about it.
Yeah. He just takes her at face value.
So when she got yeeted
Well,
super hard, I was like, that probably 90% that wasn't her.
Yeah.
I thought for sure I knew she wasn't dead. I thought maybe it was her and she fucked up or she, I don't know, she really fucked up being a bioterrorist, because that's also another thing they haven't explored with the previous game and this game, as far as I can tell, is that she was in charge of Evelyn, who is a bioweapon, and I don't even remember what company she works for or why she was doing it to begin with, other than that it was her job.
Right. She's not like a squeaky clean
BSAA?
person.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I don't
maybe
even know who they are.
Yeah, what does BSAA stand for?
BSSA is BSAA was what Chris worked for in Resident Evil 5 and part of 6, I think.
Oh, okay.
I know 5 for sure, but then they switched sides and now they're evil too, I guess.
And then you
I
have
don't-
Blue Umbrella, and apparently Umbrella's been around for
Like
a millennia.
No, what happened is the guy who made Umbrella Corporation visited that village and used
Yeah.
and was
the
inspired by
icon.
the icon or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little neat.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
liked the
You know,
lore. I thought
Which
the lore was cool.
which is the document that you read that Chris comments on. That's when you learn that Chris is like, "Oh shit, that's fucking Spencer," and then, and then
Me.
Well, if Ethan read that, he wouldn't have no idea. I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole? Where's my daughter?
Yeah, it's true.
where's my?
Yeah,
This
Chris is
doesn't
like-
say daughter here.
No rosemary? Don't give a shit. Throw it away. Burn it.
Mm-hmm.
No Rosemary, no time. Let's go.
Yeah, I think
Spice
I'm
jokes.
waiting to see a year from now if what kind of DLCs and stuff they have. Just
This
because.
cake. That's number 10 of the list. God damn it.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no,
I just
I'm
saw that.
also really interested. Yeah.
As for other characters, the
Everybody else was fine.
yeah, I liked everybody. I mean, Heisenberg kind of threw me out just because it was Nicolas Cage voice. That's the only thing I really. And which
Yeah,
is
I
weird
didn't
because
realize that
I
until
feel like
you
it fit
mentioned it.
him. Sorry.
Oh, I was saying I didn't realize that until I was watching your stream. But yeah, it definitely sounds like it. And then everybody on the Resident Evil subreddit was like, "Oh yeah, Nick Cage," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even get that.
it's just
yeah.
the way he talks. I think it's just the. Just
Yeah.
not even nasally. It's like a
the cadence.
breathier.
Yeah. There's a cadence with like a weird like throat thing he does.
Mm-hmm. Which is,
Like
I
he
think,
talks like everything's really cool, but then also Ethan, and then he talks really fast, and he does this fuck a lot, Yeah.
Nah, no, he was all right. I didn't like that he changed. Like, I thought like what he did was like basically put on a giant mech suit of metal, but like actually he just bio mutated into metal, which I thought was kind of boring because the last. Well, I guess technically not the doll lady, but like every other Resident Evil boss ever has done that, where this guy could literally just control metal, not have like the life force of metal. He could control it, and instead he's like, yeah, I'll do
most
that,
metal.
but also,
yeah,
well, most metal, not the polymer. Excuse me, not the polymer carbonate infused metal, but
yeah.
Either way, he lives right by a factory. He has access to a ton of metal. I don't know why he decided to turn into the metal to make his whole body exposed and vulnerable versus to just having a metal body armor or something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, or encase Ethan in metal.
I think he had the least
or encase Ethan in metal and stab him.
Yeah.
But, we won't get into that.
Yeah. Let's just not talk about how he could have ended Ethan at any point. It is weird. Like, I think he had the least amount of reason to become metal. Or to become like a mutated beast, right? He could have just as easily just had like a mech fight. That would have been cool. We could have had battle bots in this bitch, but instead we had Metal Man. Let's talk about so the Duke. I like the Duke. I thought he was really, really cool. I thought at varying points throughout the game, I thought that maybe he had some funny business going on. I feel like he is for himself. I also am afraid that he perished at the end of the game. I don't know that he made it out. I hope he did. He's a cool guy, but he was in the factory and that shit exploded. Everything exploded.
No, he carries you out of the factory.
Oh, he carries you out of the factory.
Carriage
oh no, he
into the
town.
town. But the town.
The town explodes.
Explodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have no idea.
There's a chance he might be
not.
dead, but knowing the Duke, I'm
so.
sure he's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah. The way he talks about certain items that he has, though, it makes me feel like he's got some like other like back deals that he's doing. Like he has a connection somewhere where he definitely knows more than you expect a merchant to know about what's happening. He like explains things to the character as if he has inside knowledge, but none of the other characters know he exists. Although he does have a shop just inside the castle, so maybe they do, but they don't talk about him.
Well, no, there's a piece of parchment that's talking about a trade deal or a license or whatever to set up a shop in the castle with the vampire lady.
Okay, so there's a connection.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, like he just is like he's like the most video gamey character in the entire game because like he's just the mysterious merchant. That's like literally
the callback to RE4.
Yeah.
The RE4 merchant doesn't even do half the shit that the Duke does for you. Or like, I mean,
he was talking about the.
He quotes the RE4 guy. He's like,
what are you selling?
Oh,
what
are
you buying?
Right.
Oh yeah, that's just something an old friend used to say.
Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, no, he. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he's a fun character. It was unfortunate. Like every time I talked to him, I was staring at his overhanging gut, and would always forget to look. I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, that's okay. I mean, you're rich, you do your best life, live however you want to, but I just don't want to stare at it. That's
right.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
But
I thought the Duke was cool.
Miranda, I mean, we already talked about this before, but yeah, like Miranda's like, oh, my daughter died. Well, actually, her thing was that she was going to kill herself, and then she came across the metamycite or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess it's slightly different compared to like Spencer. I can't remember what Spencer's deal was, but I think it was like to revive a dead child, and most of the other enemies are to like to either like world domination or to revive a child. It's either one of those two things. It's never nothing in between.
You either have the whisker or the tragic.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Her character was interesting because
you don't really have that much time with her.
And a lot of her decisions and what she did is explained if you look into some of the behind the scenes stuff that you unlock later on. It explains that her character was kind of a mishmash of an older idea. Like originally she was supposed to be like just a scientist. It was the original idea for her. and that's why when you go to her place, it's like she's this goddess now, but then you go to her place and she has like a lab, right? Like you kind of get that she, of course, was experimenting on the metamycete or whatever, but you don't get the vibe that she's just a straight up scientist, really. But that's kind of explained as originally her character was just a scientist.
Yeah,
I'm
you,
like,
you
that
do
makes
get the
sense.
feel that she kind of went from like person to like scientist to trying to figure out the metamycete to like, all right, well, I guess I'll just start a cult and
Yeah.
get my daughter. I'll just do
Mhm.
that, no big deal.
Yeah, for real.
But man, that well, all the stuff I want to say about that will be in the hopes for DLC part.
Mhm.
Because that's just like all future, like, oh, what are they gonna do? I don't know.
Right.
Trying to think of
What'd you think
any other
about
characters. Oh yeah, go ahead.
what you think about Vampire Mom and the daughters in that whole scenario?
Daughters was stupid as the fact that the daughters live in an area. Okay, let's just scratch that. Let's say they couldn't move out of the cold area at all. Let's just say, it's hard to move up an entire family and move them out.
Mhm.
Why do you have windows? Why do you hang out in parts of the castle that have windows? Why don't you board up the windows? Why don't you do something with the windows? Why would you have your one weakness be literally a door opening or a window cracked open or whatever? I don't
Yeah.
know. That was like the stupidest thing in the game for me. I'm like, I accidentally cracked open a window and now I can kill you? That's not
Well, what's
that's
funny
that's
about it
stupid.
is her daughters are kind of like vampire, like insect women, right? And
They're
so
just they're literally just bugs. They're just
why
bugs
couldn't they just
manifest
be
into a human.
vampires and then the sun hurts them and then it's the same thing, you open the window, they die? But why did they have to make it? Well, no, they're not. They're technically actually they're not actual vampires. They're bugs put together to make the form of a person, and those
Hmm.
bugs don't like the cold. And so when you open the window, it kills them. You're like, well, you could just make them vampires, and the open window, it kills them. You're like, no, that's not nearly as cool, and it doesn't take into account the metamycete portion that we have to connect them to. They can't just be vampires. That'd be stupid.
Yeah. No, I think it is a cool twist on like the typical vampire trope. I just thought I thought it was either like, yeah, okay, it's gonna be straight up sunlight,
Yeah.
or something like that. I didn't expect it to be as stupid as like the cold weather. As to like why that's the weakness or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't think like there's any specific reason. I guess it's just Lady D was like, I'm gonna give these random
They're not random. They were
girls I
they
found.
were tested on. There's all these documents in the castle that
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
she picked them
explain it.
out like randomly though, right?
Yeah.
Like she just grabbed like a
She
woman
tested a bunch of
from.
people.
Yeah, a bunch of
Yeah.
people, and she
Okay.
like has like a tier list of people.
She
Mhm.
did have a tier list.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. She just grabbed a bunch of people and she just like, hey, what happens when you do this with the bugs? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that doesn't look right. Oh, nope, they're fine again. Okay. Because
Yeah.
like at some point, like they are just like they turn into like a literal pile of bugs, and then she was like, "Well, experiment's over," and then like the next day they were human again. And she's like, "Oh, maybe it's
Hang
not
on.
over." What if I
I'm
had
very
3 of
tall.
them?
I'm very tall.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh no,
There
your green screen moved, dude.
Ah, shit.
Oh, everything for the bit. Oh no.
Oh no, it was a terrible bit too. Hold on.
Yeah, just move it a little bit
No,
over to the side. Oh no, now the
No,
other side.
no, that's too much.
Wait.
ah,
Am I gonna fix itself? Oh,
Okay, yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
perfect. Don't move. You're perfect.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Unfortunately, I have to
okay.
fix the filter now. Just the-
Oh, the bit, dude.
Sorry. Damn
You
it.
ruined
That wasn't even worth.
everything now.
It wasn't worth 10 minutes of technical difficulties. Damn it.
Well, while Matt is fixing that,
Hmm.
besides the conceit of the daughters being kind of like, it's kind of dumb, right? I did like the
Hmm.
characters. For as short-lived as they were, I thought they were fun characters.
Yeah.
It's not because they were attractive, because they were fun characters.
I
I
don't want to
don't.
get stabbed in the ankle by them, but if I were to get stabbed in the ankle by them, I wouldn't mind it as
Yeah,
much. Okay.
I mean, I'm not upset that they want my man blood,
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
if they just ask nicely, I'll give them some. It's fine. Also,
As long as-
um, it's okay. So how are they? Because they're
Mm-hmm.
vampires, but also
They're
they're
not
vampires.
vampires.
But they drink man blood. Why do they need the blood? Is that just like a delicacy?
They
for
have
them?
like an unending hunger. Did you read all the things out
Oh,
loud?
oh yeah, yeah. I did read. I read everything out loud, but not everything went in my brain. I care. I'm Ethan. I'm stupid.
The girls have like they have to eat the blood or whatever, and then like Lady D, due to like her mutation and like I guess her because she comes from royalty, so like she's actually inbred as shit because
Mhm.
they mentioned that, and so it's like a mixture of like her family disease and the mutation that she has to drink blood, and like whatever bugs that they became also just need blood and stuff too.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, whatever. I've heard crazier stuff, but
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's not the
I
craziest one.
think I think one of the funniest things I've heard about this from other people is that like one of the podcasters I listened to was explaining how you defeat the bug ladies to another one. That guy was like, oh, you defeat the women by by making it cold, huh? Well, that doesn't seem too hard. I'm like, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That's good. I think a lot of people thought that Lady Dimitrescu would be a bigger part of the game. She was a
that's
good,
for sure them. That was for
Yeah.
sure them. Like, oh, everybody loves this character. We're gonna move the trailers to focus on her now that everybody's
Yeah.
horny for her.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I didn't
like
even know
generally,
she
like,
had daughters.
that's true.
Like
Yeah, I didn't know she had daughters.
Mm.
I didn't even know that there were other people.
Yeah,
Like I thought she was
the big
the
villainess.
big villainous. Yeah. So then when you go to when you get all fucked up and you go to her castle, I kept thinking I was like, maybe she joins you. Like maybe you guys like team up.
Yeah,
Nah,
I had some weird
she's
thoughts
just
about
a
that
bad
too.
person, and you eat her, and
In
then
fact-
that's it. Like she's just a villain. She doesn't even like talk that much.
No,
You don't
no,
really
you don't really
even
get
get
that
to
much
know
time with
her.
her.
Yeah.
you
Like
don't really get to sit down and just like get to know her. You know,
she's just kind of a she's just like a
She's
almost run of the mill
yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
ladder bad guy.
that's true.
You're just another rung.
She was
You're
just like
another
a giant Mr. X in a dress, which yeah. No, I agree with you. That's why I'm hoping again more DLC
Or
talk.
more stuff from the DLC. Yeah, I remember having this kind of like moment in the game a few times before I kind of got into my brain that Miranda was the real bad guy. Was that first scene when you get brought up in the castle and you're there with Miranda and Moreau and what was her name? Angie? No, Angie's the name of the doll. I don't remember the woman's name. Who controls the doll?
It's like
Benedetto.
Dala. Yeah.
Oh, Beneviento, right? And
It's
then
Donna, I think.
Donna Beneviento,
Yeah,
I
Donna
think is
being,
what it was.
yeah.
And then Heisenberg, right? I thought that for a little bit, I thought that Lady Dimitrescu was the
Was the ruler.
was the matriarch, and everyone else was there, and then Miranda was like a pawn of hers to control the town. That's what I thought what was happening. Like when I first saw it, I thought that she had some fucked up children, and they were like these inbred atrocities. Because you look at Moreau and you're like, this guy's Hunchback of Notre Dame. You look at the doll, and I didn't realize that it was just a doll at first. I thought it was the actual girl was that, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, she
I
had
saw
some
that.
she had some mistakes. Because she's a monster woman, she's a monster woman. She had some monster kids. Like that's where my brain went because I thought that she was way more important than what she was. Turns out, no, she's the daughter. And my brain was like, huh? She's the daughter of this other woman. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what the game's actually about. But going into it, I thought that she was the big bad.
I knew like she wasn't like I saw like trailers and stuff, and I saw like the four lords and whatnot, and I knew like she wasn't going to be the main person. But it did seem like she was going to be in there a lot more than what she was. But
Yeah.
I thought like the majority of the game would take place in like the castle, and then you would like fight everybody there, like her being like like her being like a. Because I think it would be cool, like if you did like a longer game of that, of like her being the consistent enemy that you kind of have to like dodge or avoid, and
Right.
well, typical Resident Evil stuff where like you have like a like Resident Evil 3, you have like the nemesis, like literally your nemesis, where he
Right, and he's just there.
pursues
Or
you,
Mr. X.
and like yeah, and like you fight them sometimes to kind of get away from them, and they kind of get worn down and mutate or whatever. That's what I was kind of thinking they were going to go with her, but no,
That
there's
would've been
just like
cool.
nope, yeah.
Yeah.
Her final form's kind of cool, but yeah.
Well, that's interesting too because if you look at the behind the scenes portion, she was actually merged with another character that was supposed to be.
In like our Resident Evil 6 or something.
Yeah, yeah. So originally there was a man that turned into a dragon. I don't remember all the details of it, but there was a guy who turned into a dragon who was like Lord of the House. It was like he was supposed to be, I think, the big bad guy originally, the original idea.
Mm.
And then when they decided to make her a vampire, they're like, okay, we'll give her the castle, and we'll just give her his final form. We'll just mix that together, and then that's how she became
I see.
Dragon Woman. Which it makes sense because there's a lot of stuff with Dracula and like vampires becoming dragons, so it just kind of like it tracks in your brain as a player. You're like, oh yeah, vampire becomes dragon thing. Sure, that's fine. That makes sense. So
I didn't
as a
know
player,
that.
you don't
What
even
track
notice.
for me was typical Resident Evil bullshit. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, or that. Yeah, there you go. Any other characters you want to spotlight or talk about specifically?
No.
Man, I mean, I think we talked about everybody, and like I said, we'll talk more about the future of the game if there is any.
Right.
So yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So combat.
Oh, did you want to compare it to Resident Evil 7? I don't know. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
there's
Well,
not
I
really
don't
much.
remember a whole bunch, but you guys might remember more than me. But yeah, how do the characters in this compare, or like the various bosses and like how they were characterized in Resident Evil 7 versus Resident Evil 8?
No, to me, on RE7, they were better.
They were definitely more grounded and
RE7,
realistic.
yeah. RE7, the characters, even though like they were like 60 in Resident Evil 7, they were like 60-70% of the game. Like you go through the whole section fighting Jag, and then what's her face, the wife, and
And then the son.
and then the son for like a little bit. Then you fuck off to the boat, and then everything goes downhill from there. But yeah, like there was like it was like less of them if you don't count Evelyn, but it was better. Because they were consistent enemies. They were talking to you. They were like shoot. They're like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and you're like, no, you're not, Mister.
I'm the main character.
And
I'm Ethan.
the player controls me. I can't die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm invincible. But
Joke's on you. There's more story in this game.
yeah, no, and then in Resident Evil 8, you did see I mean, there was like the main enemies were definitely more of a focus for the entire game, but you didn't like really get to talk to well, I mean, it's not like you want to talk to your enemy or whatever, but it's just like you didn't really get like a feel for them. You didn't like, oh, it's a creepy fish guy again. He's gonna get me, or like, oh, the doll lady's back. Oh Jesus, what's she gonna do now? Oh God.
Yeah, they
And it
spent
was like, oh, watch out for the baby.
yeah, like the most minuscule amount of time as they possibly could to squeeze out as many tropes about the characters as possible, so that they could have like one or two scenes and then with the character, and then they just had like, okay, now explore the rest of the area and complete the puzzle and move on, because like that's the vibe that I got, because when you're meeting up with Moreau, you have one conversation with him at the beginning, and then he talks to you as you're fighting him, and that's really all you get of him. And then there's like various documents you find of like little writings he did, where that gives you a little bit more of an insight as to his character, which turns out he's just developmentally challenged, and he is he feels consistently like he's the worst of them, and he's trying to prove himself. And so his character motivations are actually pretty good. I think he's actually not a bad character. But yeah, you don't get any time with the characters at all. You get like a very small amount. They're very surface level. They're like, this is the gimmick for this is the thing about them, and now complete the puzzle. Yeah.
I feel like the length for the fish guy was fine. I feel like the doll lady, the Lady D. Well, no, Heisenberg's fine. I think Heisenberg's fine, but the Benevento and Lady I never get her last name right. Lady Dimitrescu could definitely have like a little bit more of like some kind of background lore to not background. I don't know, just like a little bit more.
Because like
again,
Donna or whatever, she has like a pretty tragic one. Everybody was talking about in subreddit. I was like,
yeah, like her.
We read all the shit.
And,
like it seems like she had a hard life, but why did she do the things she did?
Yeah.
Just because she's crazy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
there's
seems
this
like
whole thing.
basically all these people have like fucked up things happen to them, and then Miranda's like, "Oh, an outcast from society. You are my child now. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
here, eat
yeah.
this mold."
Yeah, weird. Ethan's mold. Yeah, not even Miranda knew about Ethan, which is crazy because she's like mold woman. You think that she would like sense the mold within, but apparently not.
Oh no, I said eat this mold, not
Oh,
Ethan's
eat this
mold.
mold. Oh, okay. I thought you said Ethan's mold. That's weird.
No, yeah. No, Ethan's mold is a subsection of the metamycete, which they explain in
Right.
the game. It's
Yeah.
different. Don't worry.
Right. I
But
think
yeah, no.
know.
TLDR is definitely that RE7. I think had better time with the characters, but it feels like RE7 was like a full game.
Right.
This I don't mean it to sound like bad or anything. Resident Evil 7 was like a full game, and then they added DLC to kind of like add stuff to it. Whereas this one seems like it's a game. Resident Evil 8 seems like a game, and then they're gonna add like more story stuff through like numerous DLC or something. It feels like I'm not
It
for
doesn't
sure.
feel like
I
a
don't.
complete story or the character like
Like
there's more
Ethan's
there.
story is definitely complete.
That's true. Yeah, but like everything else
Oh, yeah.
surrounding him feels like there's
Like
more to it.
I think what the
Yeah.
like because they had the little tagline at the end, they're like the father's story is done.
Yeah.
Whatever is ended. His watch is ended.
Yeah.
So I think that was their main focus, and they didn't spend that much time on other people. And I don't think they definitely didn't think that Vampire Mom was going to be
When they were making the game, yeah, I don't think
that.
they thought that she
No,
was
they
gonna
didn't know until
Oh,
they
yeah,
released the trailer,
they
and
said
everybody's
so.
like, ooh, step on me or whatever.
Yeah, they said that themselves. Like, we didn't think this was going to happen, but here you go. You want more of her? Here we are.
Yeah.
I think they even put out a press release saying like, don't expect like that she's gonna be like.
Why would they?
lot.
That would just prevent people to buy the game.
Yeah, yeah, but I was gonna say like I think the reason why you don't get as much time with Dimitrescu and or where there isn't as much like story like going into and talking to them is I got the feeling that maybe they were trying to not have the whole villain monologues in front of you trope, or like trying not to have too much because they were like,
And
oh,
they
she's
just
mad
threw that shit out the window with Ethan, or not Ethan, with the Heisenberg.
with Heisenberg. Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, but like with her, it's like okay, she needs to be mad and she needs to be trying to kill you because you killed her daughters. So
Yeah.
we can't have her talk to you, even though it would be awesome if they had more scenes of her like kind of monologuing to you. I feel like that's the type of character you would want that from. It feels like she has a lot to say and she could say it really cool, but I think they kind of dug themselves into a hole where it's like, yeah, but you killed her daughter, so she's obviously going to want to end you. Like, and that's just what she's going to want to do. Like, you're not getting out if you're alive. I'm gonna try to kill you.
Well, we should move on.
We should move on. Yeah, that's right. So combat, gunplay, movement, enemy variety. Thoughts?
I mean, I thought the enemy variety was so much better than RE7.
Because RE7 was literally like three
Mold weird things.
people.
Goop guy.
Yeah.
Goop guy number 2.
Mold and like crawly mold, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
there's
might have been
one.
like a couple more, but I know like they added more for Chris's shit, I think, but like that doesn't count. Who cares about Chris's game or Chris's?
I remember
DLC?
making the argument when talking about it, when talking about Resident Evil 7, being like, yeah, there wasn't really any other types of enemies, but that's not why you're playing RE7. You're playing RE7 for the cool story and the bad guys. Like, I remember having that thought
You're
where
playing.
it's like,
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, in contrast to this game, it was like it was okay that the enemies weren't super varietal, because the rest of the experience was good, as far as like the villains and the atmosphere and the area you're trying to work through. I just want to say that because I remember that.
Yeah. No, I think what RE7's problem was they had a really cool persistent enemy stuff, and then they also had these 3 mold guys, which after the first time you fight them, they lose their flavor, and it's kind of like, it's Mold Boy again. I wish somebody else was chasing me. I wish somebody stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish a random Louisiana man with a giant like fucking rake / lawnmower thing.
He had a
comes at
shovel,
me.
right?
He also had he had a shovel. At some point, he had like a giant it looked like those like like the old lawnmowers that you just roll around on the ground, no
Mhm.
gas or whatever. But like it had like spikes and shit attached to it. I don't know. It's been a minute. I had to replay it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the fact that like I feel like they kind of just that was like a basically for them they took a right step and they took a wrong step at the same time. It's like, yeah,
Well,
cool
that was a
persistent
major
enemy.
criticism of RE7 was no enemy variety. So they're
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, you want enemies?
yeah,
All
no,
right,
this game though, yeah. RE8.
all right.
You want
Everybody gets
enemies.
their
Holy
own
shit.
enemies except for Fish Boy, because he's pathetic.
Yeah.
Fish Boy's his own enemy.
He is his own enemy, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was really cool. They added like so much more to this one. To the point it's like, holy shit, where are all these guys coming from? But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not complaining. Better than fighting like a normal lichen, a fat lichen, and a crawly lichen or something,
Mm-hmm.
I got something to say about the lichens. I'll be honest, they didn't
You
feel
don't
very
liken them?
lichen-esque.
Well, they're
Yeah. Okay. So for a while, I felt
Mhm.
like they were only lichen in name. Like they're barely wolf people. They're like just kind of monstrous, crazy people. Like unless you really get close to them, and some of them have like fur on their face and stuff like that, but you don't really notice it when you're popping them in the head, right? They don't
Mhm.
feel very lichen-esque. They just feel kind of like animalistic people. And so I thought it was
Well, I
funny
mean,
that they
yeah.
called them lichens, and like why did they start calling them lichens? Because they're not really like wolf people. They're just like
They're
uh,
wolf-esque.
they're wolf. Yeah, they're wolf adjacent.
I mean, we've seen like their like older forms too, in the form of like literal giant wolfmen. So I imagine like what they just call them lichens because they saw like the other wolves hanging out with the crazy villagers that were also shooting them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I can't remember what was it. I don't know if you caught this. I barely caught this. I think like basically all the shit started happening. Like all the shit started popping off like right before you got there. Like as soon as
Yeah.
Miranda
Yeah.
brought Rose to the village,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
shit was popping off. So they were just like, "What the fuck is what the fuck is
Yeah,
that? What do
they're
we
all
call
like,
them again?"
Mother Miranda will protect us. She's always protected us. I was like,
No, no, no.
no, no,
I don't
no.
think so. I don't think she is. I don't
It
know, man.
could be that Mother Miranda is the reason.
Hmm. Harumph. But yeah, no, the lichen variety, I liked it. Like just that the base guys are kind of like angry villagers essentially, and then you got like the upgraded wolf man, which was like, holy shit! Like you first
Yeah.
encounter with a wolf person as it like tears you apart. It's like, did I fail this? Am I about to die? I don't know.
Oh
It
yeah.
was really, I was really confused for a second. Like, did I just not walk in the right section? I don't. Okay. I don't know.
Oh, I'm dead, or I'm getting
Yeah.
fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then after that, being a Vento Manor, the baby was cool. I like the baby because it was
The
fucking
baby
terrifying and I hated
was
it.
cool. The sounds were insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I hated it.
Mama. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, stop.
So yeah, the first time
You know,
I played through it, we didn't see the baby.
Matt saw 30 frames total of the baby the whole
Yeah,
time.
the whole
And
time.
he dipped so fast.
I had
yeah, no.
mentally. This is what, like, when you don't move the cards when we do draft champions, I'm able to do these crazy things where I remember every little thing and then I just run through the shit and then we never even saw her.
Yeah, Matt avoided the baby like professionally.
Like it was my fucking
Gotcha, nice.
job.
Yeah, baby was terrifying.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I as soon as I heard the sound, I'm like, oh god, that's not good. And then I saw it, and I was like, nope, that's okay.
I'm
Yeah.
in danger.
Yeah, exactly. I just ran and juked and dodged and dived, but it was unexpected because I figured it was just going to be like some doll shit because you're in a dollhouse and that comes up later, and that was kind of a fun like little not like typical boss fight, just like an environmental boss fight. That was kind of
Yeah.
fun. The dollhouse hunt. Um,
Did you know that all the boss fights are timed, and that's one of them is finding the doll is timed, like a hide and seek portion. And if you
Well,
get
yeah, she tells you that. She's like, yeah, if you're not quick, I'll kill you. It's like,
well,
okay.
I'm talking about for like an achievement.
Achievements, yeah.
Yeah, if you get below a certain amount, you get like an achievement for it or whatever. And it's really hard. Like on the second time through, we got to that point, and Matt went really fast, and I looked up the locations, and we got there almost immediately, and we were still 30 seconds behind. Like
Wow.
fast, yeah. Because
Must be
she doesn't go to the same spot actually. Like people were saying that she goes to the same spot every time.
She has a couple different places she
Yeah,
can go.
she mixes it up on you, so you have to kind of like guess or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I kind of thought it would be the same, or like in the same spots too. There was one spot I thought she was going to be in for sure, which was like inside like this barely opened door or barely opened room that you can kind of crack in or peek in, but no.
Yep, that room is just nothing. I don't like. There's not even treasure in there or anything. That room just is nothing.
There's a chest in there to make you think there's something in it, and it's just like you look at the map and the room's blue, the whole house is blue, and you're like, I guess there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Can't shove these boxes forward, so whatever. But
Ethan's like, yeah, the door doesn't open. I guess it just doesn't open. Won't think any more past that. Wish I had a truck though.
I'd
probably get that door open with a truck.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So Matt, you had some criticism about the movement.
Yeah, the movement was really funky.
Like slow.
It was slow.
Wobbly, but
like it wasn't. It was just laggy sometimes. Like it was inconsistently like tank controls where you have to turn. You can't see my hand, but you have to turn and then start.
Right.
If you like back up and try to strafe and do all this movement, it
doesn't act the way you think it's gonna act.
Yeah, you lag. You get caught in, like, I don't know. You trip over your own feet.
Yeah, the way I was explaining to Matt, because I noticed the way he was moving, because sometimes it looked like he was making a mistake or just not moving when actually he was trying to move, but he was stuck in between either backing up or strafing. And the way I was thinking about it is, especially, it became really apparent when you were doing Mercenaries, when you sped up your turning speed, and when you got the upgrades to change how fast you moved. When you change how fast you move in Mercenaries, it doesn't make you faster when you back up and strafe, like nearly as much as it does just running forward. And it made me realize that I think there are literally different mechanics there for when you move forward, for when you strafe, and for when you back up, for the purposes of making things more stressful in the game. They make it purposely kind of like a little bad when you go to back up versus running forward. Like you back up kind of slowly, and then you can run forward. You can't really run backwards, and you don't really run sideways either. So it's made more apparent when you see how much of a bigger of a deal it is when you speed yourself up in Mercenaries. It turns out, no, you literally have to run forward, turn, run, turn, run, turn, because you try to strafe around something and then try to back out.
Yeah.
You like get caught in the transition between movements a lot. And it makes it feel like you're getting caught on stuff when you're not.
Well, yeah, I was watching a speedrunner, and he was talking about how he thinks there's a startup, like a max speed startup, where you don't just start running quickly. Like you have to work your way up to it. So I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't know. I mean, what I'm trying to say. I didn't notice that, but like it does like feel. I did notice like it felt slower, and I like noticed like when you walk side to side, it was a bit slower, and when you walk backwards, it's a bit slower. And it's like you said, when you like had to speed it up for Mercenaries or whatever by amping up the sensitivity, it's a lot more noticeable than it's like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Mercenaries
feel like
really
have to play
drilled.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just to say they drilled a whole new movement method that I had to just do.
Yeah.
Now I don't get caught in the lag anymore.
Because you just don't worry about strafing or backing up as much. You just turn.
Like I know, it beats you in the head with like a you're gonna learn how this actually works.
Yeah.
So now I just I do a lot to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say when you first play the game, I feel like you have to not adjust. I mean, obviously adjust to your comfort, but if you adjust it to like we were talking about before, like Call of Duty levels or whatnot, I feel like that would ruin the game for people. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely. But yeah, the controls is definitely different than typical FPSs, and that could just be Resident Evil being Resident Evil again. Like how the original reason why they made tank controls in the first few games is because of technical limitations, but not in the way you think. They just wanted to make the game scarier, so they decided to make the character harder to move around.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's
why
where
they
my
did that
reasoning came
versus, like-
from. I was like, yeah, they probably did this purposely to make it more stressful because you can't just back away on a dime. You have to like stop moving forward and then back up like a person would. You know, like you have lag in real life when you're running forward and you need to back up all of a sudden. You know, there's like momentum with everything, so they kind of like artificially put that in there, and it causes some stressful moments where you're like, I need to get away.
Well, is that and like even when I was turning and stuff like that, it was just like it would hitch, like it would just lag. Like the cursor would move, it would go normal, and then it would slow like way down, and then speed back up, and that was really fucking with me.
I think maybe that might be a PC thing, but I'm not for sure. But there might be like
I
an
was on
acceleration.
PS5.
No, I'm saying that what I was about to say is that I think there's like a acceleration setting you can adjust. I just don't remember if that was only on the PC or if you can do it on the PS5 as well.
The PS5 has the
But I'm not-
acceleration settings on the controller, which is what Matt just turned off all acceleration stuff and bumped up the sensitivity to like 9.
Yeah, and then didn't fix it. Like it was actually worse until I just learned to work around the shit.
Yeah. Wait around the shit. Yeah. No, I don't really have any comments or anything else to add to that. Compared to Resident Evil 7, it's pretty much the exact same game, just or like combat wise, everything else is pretty much the same.
I mean, I thought the
I didn't
gunplay
notice
was really
anything different.
tight. Once you got the hang of it, like it was.
Yeah, no,
You
I
kinda learned,
think it was
yeah.
good. I just don't remember much. I mean, from what I remember, I think it was pretty much the same compared to Resident Evil 7. But it's been a minute.
Yeah, I would say it felt like it had the same broad strokes of, yeah, this is definitely a continuation of the same like systems that they're using. There might have been some tweaking here and there. It definitely felt similar where like it was kind of purposely hard to aim at first until you got used to things, and that also just adds to the stress of the moment. You know, it's like, oh, I can't
but
just.
Ethan's
snap
had
to his
military
head.
training, so he should be good now.
Yeah, but he hit his head, and he's a mold man. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of weird that he didn't like. I don't know. Have
They
been-
purposely
I
they
guess-
talk about it in the
Yeah.
intro. They're like,
Yeah, he's had defensive.
I've
training.
had military training or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And you're
Man.
like, did you?
He can use a sniper rifle. I mean, can you quick scope on a sniper rifle and get someone in the head, man? I mean, that's the
Probably
training.
could.
That's the training, right there, dude.
You probably could.
I mean,
Sure.
there are some cool animations with the guns. I thought it was really cool that when you have, I think it's the second shotgun or the third shotgun. Do you get 3 shotguns? Yeah, you get 3 shotguns. Do you get 3 shotguns in this game?
You
Or is
get
it just 2?
4.
You get 4 shotguns. There's one where if you're down to 1 bullet, it's the one that only has 2, and you have to upgrade to like 3 or 4. And if you're down to 1 bullet, he reloads it from the side, like turns it sideways and pops it in like the side bit. And I thought that was a cool animation. Like a lot of the animations felt like pretty cool. And
Yeah, there's
there's
one with
high
a
quality
cool
animations.
reload. Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
And another thing about the movement is that they spend a lot of time on the movement, and then putting that in, I guess, where it's all weirdly laggy if you try to do things. But then, like, if you switch guns, you have 3 arms.
Oh, yeah, the 3 arms. Did Matt talk to you about that? Yeah,
Noticed
it's
that
so
too.
funny.
I also noticed that switching between
The shotgun
machine
and
or like
the
shotgun
shotgun and the
pistols,
pistol
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, I think for just like a few frames, you have like 4 arms.
You have both
if I
guns
remember.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
That-
I did it for like 5 minutes straight on stream. I was just like, I think they're all in there. I think all hands and all the guns are in there at the same time. But I
Are you Goro?
had to do a slow mo, replay the footage.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because Matt was doing that between the shotgun and the pistol, and it's like the shotgun leaves and the pistol, and I tried to come up with reasons why. Like, you only see that one hand on the shotgun, and then the other one comes in with a pistol. So I'm like, well, maybe he's like doing some quick switch or something like that. And then it came down to it's like, no, he has at least 3 arms, and it is explained. And I think it's just canon. It's got to be canon that one arm is invisible because when you walk up the doors, you open them up way sooner than you actually arrive at them. They don't hit you in the face; they open up like before you. So your third invisible arm's opening doors for you, and that
Switching
I feel
guns
like,
for you, all sorts of cool
yeah,
things.
I feel like there has to. It's just a reality. It's a fact. Ethan has a third invisible mold arm that helps in kind of just making things a little bit better. Doesn't do anything else. Doesn't help him with like fighting, really. But it's there.
I use items sometimes.
Yeah,
when
it grabs
when
items.
mm.
See, yeah, it's
There's a
like
lot
there's
different
so
from
much.
Resident Evil 7. Like in this one, you kind of see your hands doing stuff sometimes. In Resident Evil 7, everything was telepathic. If you weren't like, I think it's because like it was made for VR or whatever. But it was just like really goofy to see like a pair of floating bolt cutters fly to a chain and go chink, and then they kind of
Oh,
like
I
fly
forgot
back.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
there's even the
okay.
scene in the dollhouse where you do with the scissors, where
Mm.
the scissors cut like these bandages that are not on the
Bandages.
lady, but before you get to the lady,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
covering up the thing, and they're just like
they just kind of float.
Ethan's invisible hand.
Yeah, it's his invisible
Mhm.
hand cutting the little bandages in front of that walkway you have to crawl through.
Yep. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else about combat, gunplay, movement, enemy variety? I think we covered most everything, right? What was your favorite gun? Like, what was your go-to setup at the end?
I don't. I think at the end I was just kind of using everything because I was just trying to kill the lady. Just like just die. Why are you so strong? Please die. Um, I was a big fan of my pistol, which was the like the last one I think,
The last one that
where
you
it's like
you
with
get
like
the stock.
Yeah,
Yeah, Matt hated that
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, um, that and like I like the Magnum looks really cool. The
Yeah.
Wolfsbane Magnum. I like used it like I only used it for the last boss fight, and I don't think I had to use it for the wolf. Well, I didn't have to, but it was
He
encouraged to
got it.
use it
It's
for
Wolf's
the
Bane.
yeah. There's the wolf, and you got the wolf's bane. What are you gonna do? Not use it? But yeah, I used it for that and the end boss fight, and I was like, oh, okay. And like there's like another Magnum you can get now that with
The stake.
the stake, yeah, which sounds cool, but I like the look of the wolf's bane better. But well, that's my own journey I have to go on. But
Yeah.
yeah. Long story short, basically the pistol was pretty cool, and then like in mercenaries, I always just rock pistol and shotgun and sell everything else.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's not the meta.
that's not the meta. We'll get to that when we talk about
Oh,
mercenaries. But
okay.
Matt and I have discovered many things about optimizing, and Matt did some research. There's some cool stuff that makes it like it's not what you think. Like what's good is not what your mind immediately goes to. But yeah. So you like the Magnum. Did you not really care for any of the shotguns potentially? Were they just tools to get the job done? You don't really like.
At that point in the game, it's just tools to get the job done. Because like I always had like a different, just the way the game works. Like I didn't have like a lot of sniper rifle ammo at some point, so I would not use it for a while, and then so I would like switch it with a shotgun, and then you use that loadout for a while, then you run out of shotgun ammo or something, then you switch back with a sniper rifle, and then blah blah blah. It was basically I was just kind of like cycling through weapons the entire time. I will say, like, for the guns, I didn't like hate any of them. I thought they were all cool. I just like, okay, this one has better numbers, so let's upgrade it, or let's not upgrade. Let's switch to that one, and then
Right.
maybe give it one upgrade or something. But
Yeah. Did you
yeah,
have
no,
a
I mean,
particular ammo type that you were focusing on when you would make ammo or craft ammo? Would you be like, okay, I probably need to be making more shotgun ammo or pistol ammo, or was it just like whatever you had?
whatever I needed except for the pistol ammo. I never made pistol ammo. I think I just never really needed it. But yeah, well, like, it was half like first aid kits and half like just random ammo that I would need, shotgun, sniper, whatever I needed at the time.
Yeah.
Grenade rounds, acid rounds, whatever.
Yeah, I think I crafted like 79 times or something. It tells you.
Oh,
And I
nice.
guarantee you 70 of that was shotgun.
Yeah.
Like anytime I went to the crafting menu, it might as well just been called the shotgun maker. Because that's the only thing I did there.
I remember Matt was
If I
picking
remember
up
correctly,
rusty,
the shotguns has a pretty far range for a shotgun.
Yeah, the shotgun
if I remember
actually is
correctly.
pretty good.
The shotgun was my default weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just felt safe. Like
Just
second
like a nice
playthrough, I'd
warm
do
hug.
whatever, right? I have an infinite machine gun.
Yeah.
Cause,
Matt unlocked the infinite dragoon, but
Nice.
But the shotgun, it blasts people away. And, I'm scared. I get scared easy. Like,
just need a little space. 6 feet, motherfucker. There's a
so
pandemic,
I just like anytime I'm walking, I'm like, oh shit, could be enemies. Pull out the shotgun.
Yeah.
Because if they jump on me, I can just shoot them.
Yeah. There's a while though, anytime we came across like the rusty metal or whatever, Matt was like, "Oh, more shotgun shells." It's like we just referred to it as shotgun shells. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm down to keep it moving, especially this next part because it's pretty short.
Right. Yeah. So any other thoughts about guns, Matt?
No.
Okay. Cool. So puzzles.
I hate the puzzles in Resident Evil games. I think they're so fucking contrived and stupid and just not realistic.
Yeah, no, they definitely...
Like, they're just... You're telling me this lady has to take this wine bottle and put it in the thing every single time she wants to do something. She has to point these statues in a way... Like, they don't even hide it. They're like, this is a game, motherfucker. Like,
find these faces,
like,
put the faces on the statues. They're hidden.
Like, I'm like, this is how you have to exit the castle every time? You have to put the shit on there? Like,
Matt, the reason why they do that is because if they didn't do that, the stupid daughters would just walk outside accidentally sometime and die. It's to protect her children.
I'm not interested in bits. Okay? I'm interested in complaining about the puzzles.
Okay. Yeah.
The puzzles were easy, too. We killed every puzzle.
Yeah, we were never confused.
Yeah, I don't even remember, like, the puzzles were so few and so easy. I don't actually even remember what the puzzles were. Like, I guess the blood room. And that only took me a minute because I'm so progressive and I thought one of the ladies was a lord. I was like, oh, okay.
Humble brag.
Yeah,
yeah, right. I'm such a 2021 man. No, I don't know, like, it just didn't click in my head that the guy on the horse was the Lord. I thought he was just some fucking guy. I was just like, okay. I guess I think what it was for me was like, it's Lady D's house. So why wouldn't it be like the tall, imposing lady? Well, not tall. She wasn't like tall.
You're trying to metagame it.
Like, why? Yeah, like, why wouldn't it be the lady? I just kind of like, was like, that makes sense. I'll just go with that. And I was like, why is it not working? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh, the horse guy. He's the Lord. Oh, okay.
And I just hated it.
Yeah.
And the keys, like,
yeah.
Okay, I get it. You have to, lock away
My man's about to pop
things.
off and lock doors. Let's go.
So why not, like, other games like Metroidvanias do it in an interesting way where you unlock new abilities. And they also did that where you're like, now you have a well wheel, blah, 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 blah. Now you can do the well things. Also stupid that you have to go to a menu every single time you want to use one of those.
Why doesn't it just assume?
Why? Like, I understand they want to build drama, so you keep it for the keys or whatever. Or keep it for certain things. But the well wheel, like some other shit that you get to unlock things, why do I have to go to a menu every single time to do that?
Yeah, there's plenty of single-use items that are they're not contextual. There's one use. It does the one thing. Why do you need to open up a menu to access it when it should just be like, obviously I'm going to use the well wheel here or the crank or
That was dumb.
And then they had this weird thing where at the beginning of the game you couldn't go in places like a lot of the gates in the village were blocked off from you, and then later on they just give up and they're like, yeah, you can just break the chains on those gates now. It's fine. You can just.
Why do we have bolt cutters?
Oh yeah, why do you get bolt cutters in the beginning when you just fucking shoot the shit?
Yeah.
Well, they're not all locked with a keypad guy. You can't just shoot bolts. It doesn't work that way. You have to cut them. Obviously.
But you use the
shoot
bolts
locks,
one time.
and then
you use the
cut
bolt cutter.
bolts. I don't. What's so hard to understand, guys? I don't get it. I don't.
But
I'm guilty of trying to do that. I definitely like. Oh, well, now that I have a gun, maybe I don't even need bolt cutters anymore. And I was like, oh well, never mind.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just but the key system, like it's just like they're locking content, they're locking story behind shit. But to choose keys and to make the doors wooden, and to like obviously, I guess Ethan has some aversion to wood
Yeah.
because he'd rather go through bricks and concrete. But like it could be anything. But the keys are so stupid.
Yeah.
I
And for context, Matt's mostly you're mostly you're talking about all the keys, but also the one that you have to build the key over time, which is just I'm imagining them just trying to live their everyday lives, going through each one of those openings, and then being like, okay, is this the unborn wing key, or is this just a wing key? What do I need to? I need to transform Autobot Voltron my key to make sure it's the right one, so I can get through this very specific specialized lock. My theory is that the full key is a master one for everything, and that's just
Go
the
ahead,
thing I
put
tell
it in
myself.
an iron door,
so
see what happens.
Yeah, I guess just for those 4 doors, right? Yeah.
No, I'm basically my whole thing comes down to I 100% agree puzzles have been stupid in the games because it's been how you open up police doors in the police station since Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they're stupid. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like you can make them in the world make sense. They don't even try.
No, they don't. It's like,
They're like, this is the
I feel like this
theme.
one's a lot better than I feel like they've been kind of slowly getting better with the puzzles every single iteration of the game, because and also the older ones, your key items was part of your like 8x8 grid inventory thing, or not 8x8, like 4x2 grid.
yeah.
Like you had 8 spaces for items. You had to have your herbs, your weapons, your ammo, and also whatever fucking important thing you need, like the crank or the fucking valve or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's gotten a little bit better. Even compared to like Resident Evil 7, the shadow puzzles, how does that work? How do the shadow puzzles work?
I thought they were stupid
You
too.
remember those?
Yeah. Is there someone
they
there
are
just checking you every time?
Yeah. Why is it in their house? I don't understand.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
The puzzles have been stupid. They're always stupid. I don't mind the locked door so much. I'm sorry. I can't go down that rabbit hole with you, but I will agree with you that the puzzles are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of them were really hard. I feel like a lot of them almost solved themselves. A really good example of that is in the dollhouse when you're trying to solve like the 5 simultaneous puzzles that they have you do. They have you approach them. The way they give them to you is in a very linear fashion. Like you're not given 5 different puzzles that you have to figure out like which one to prioritize or anything like that. Everything is given to you in an order, and so you don't have to really think about it. You just, as long as you look at everything and then go into the next room, it kind of solves itself. And I think the biggest problem with that is they give you the answer like immediately to the door that you have to put the seals in, where it's just like, oh, you're looking around her body and you see like what is obviously a seal on her arm, and then you see what's obviously a seal in her eye, and then you walk up to the door and you're like, okay, and it was like an immediate, like, yeah, just switch this one to the right bird, and you switch this one to the right eyes, and that's it. Like it wasn't hard.
They weren't even far away.
Yeah, it was like right.
They have like 8 different variations of like the eagle, and then you just move it over right twice, and it's the right one.
Yeah.
And the same with the eyes.
Oh, I probably went the wrong way then. I mean, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a big deal, but I don't remember just going over and stumbling across. I remember like going through the entire. I think I went to the left, I guess, but yeah, I like how you put it, Spencer. As it's a linear puzzle. You don't have to actually solve anything. You just kind of follow the clues forward. It's like following like a trail of like candy or some shit or whatever. Like, oh, if I keep following this, I'm going to get to the end. Well, I'll just keep doing that. Okay, this is the code for the door. All right. This is obviously some kind of symbol. Okay, remember that. This is another one. Okay.
Here's
look,
the
scissors.
safe combination. Look out this window.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like,
jump scare. Second playthrough, I put a mine there.
Yeah. There's one shack where you get
No,
inside.
it scared Fiske too. I was watching him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I think it gets everybody.
the shack
but
with
yeah,
the
it got
window.
me good. It got me. Then I laughed for 5 minutes straight because I was like, oh shit, the delayed jump scare,
Yeah.
new tech.
Yeah, that was a good one. I actually thought that was really clever. But yeah, Matt put a mine there and around it too. There's like another mine. He put multiple mines outside. Knew it was gonna come the second time around, and then looked out the window, and it was so funny because you don't even see the guy. You just hear an explosion.
Yeah, I got him.
It was good. I didn't know you were doing it at first. You walked over, you put the mine down, and I'm like, "What the hell is he doing?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm prepared. He's not gonna get me a second time."
Motherfucker. Oh
Yeah.
man, no, that I think out of like all the puzzles and everything, yes, that jump scare was probably the favorite part out of all of that.
Yeah. I think the only puzzles that took any amount of time were the bell puzzle in the castle, and that was just because
You had to look
there's
for
a
the
bell
bells.
outside, right?
Yeah, no, the bells. Yeah, the first time I came across this room, I was like, do I just have to shoot the moving bell 5 times? I don't get it.
I thought it was different bells that you had to shoot
Inside the moving thing at different
inside
angles.
the movie. Yeah,
We thought there were multiple bells at different
multiple
angles.
angles that you had to attack it from. Nope.
No, just
That's
bells
what
around a room.
I kinda, that was the second step. I was like, I keep shooting the bell. Maybe there's more inside there. I don't know. And then like I just did a quick look. I was like, or I Googled it. I'm like, how do I get to this mask? Well, you have to go to the bell room and find the 5 bells. I'm like, okay. Obviously, I'm just not looking the right spot. I know this is where I have to go. So I'll just fucking look for bells. And then like I saw 3 of them right away. I was like, oh yeah, there's one there. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the outside one took me a minute. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like staring at like the bell that was on the chandelier after I got it, and I was just like talking with Chad or something. And then I happened to notice out of the corner of my eyes. I was like, oh shit. Hey, 5th bell, let's go.
Which is bullshit
okay.
because in the hint, they talk about the bells being in the room. They refer to the room and the 5 bells as having to find it, right? So you are led to believe that there are 5 bells within the room, and then they put one outside in a fucking bell tower. But because they're like, we need to make this
Lady.
like marginally harder because otherwise it's too easy.
Lady D's a dickhead. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. She just likes to lie to people.
It was that bell, and then it was that bell. It was that puzzle, and then it was the typewriter one, the one with all the wheels. Oh no, not a typewriter.
No, it's the music box,
right? And that one was only difficult. It wasn't really difficult. It just took extra length of time to move stuff around in the right order.
I didn't know you had to move the shit. I thought you had to rotate.
Yeah, Matt was.
So I would stand there for like 2 minutes, and we're all silent. And I was like, I don't know what to do. The shit's not moving. I didn't even read the buttons at the bottom. So that's on me. And especially you got to move the things around. I'm like, I'm trying. They don't move. They don't move. He's like, no, you got to move them
because there's scratches.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to actually replace the other ones, slot them in different places. So when you were having trouble with it, I was like, oh, he's having trouble with that. Nope, just me.
Yeah, no, I knew right away. Like after you played it, I was like, oh, okay, match up the scratches. And my thing was like I was matching up the scratches on the wrong side or something. Like I had 3 that was correct, but I had it like on the right side instead of the left side or something like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that there was one like a wheel that was like not as big as the rest that you couldn't move on the left side.
And the right side.
Yeah, and the right side, and there's a scratch there, and I was like, well, if you just use that as your focal point, you kind of work from there. But yeah, those are the only 2 puzzles that I can think of that took any amount of time, and that was just because of like, it's not that you couldn't figure out what you're supposed to do really. It's just that it just took time to kind of get to the solution. And it's so funny because looking up stuff afterwards, because we didn't look up anything, I don't think really.
Nothing.
But we had the advantage of being 2 people, right? Looking up after the fact, there's all these guys like, yeah, so this is how you finish this one. And this puzzle, having trouble? No worries. We got you here. This is how you finish. I'm like, dude, it's really not that hard. The game is so easy.
The guides for these puzzles are like getting shorter and shorter, so they have to like do the thing you do with recipes. Where people, you try to find a recipe online, it's like, well, this is my family recipe. This is my family puzzle guide. We've been working on puzzles for 25 years in video games.
When
Resident
I first started playing video games,
latest in the franchise. Blah blah blah. blah blah
Like
blah blah blah. All right, here's
RE7, RE6, RE5. They just go through all of them. Resident Evil, Nemesis,
Resident
Veronica's Code, blah 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 blah.
Veronica's Code.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
like,
that.
yeah, he's like,
It's not Code Veronica. It's Veronica's code. It's her code. You don't,
yeah,
you
it's
don't talk about
Veronica's
her
code. It's like
code.
Victoria's Secret.
Veronica's code. Shh! Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Resident Evil has a long history of making puzzles for their games, and this is how you solve
Mm.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for puzzles, yeah, I'm glad they're slowly getting rid of them. I enjoyed the good ones. I didn't mind the music box. It was just kind of confusing for a minute. And
Yeah.
then
I thought that there were some puzzles
the bell
that they
one was
weren't
weird,
hard.
but
Right. Yeah, they weren't hard, but they were thematically like cool or important. Like the film reel one was kind of nifty, even though it didn't matter because it just told you to go down a walkway and then down a ladder. Like
Which is the only place you can
which
go.
is the only option you have. So it was pointless.
Yeah.
It was like a useless puzzle. But it was a cool idea to make a puzzle out of film strips, but they had nothing to use it on, so they just did it anyway. But okay, and they give you the answer right there next to it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to piece together any ideas. You don't have to like listen to the
I
recordings.
did it so quickly the second time. Spencer thought I did it wrong.
Yeah, well, because I didn't have time to even look. I was like on my phone or whatever, and he started doing it. I'm like, oh wait, I thought because I figured we would want to like take a good look at it, try to remember what it was from last time we did it. But no, Matt was just like pop, 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 and just did it because it's really easy. It's like
yeah.
And I'm a
at first,
genius.
I thought it was like
sure.
well, yeah, obviously. I thought it was like the timeline versus of like this one's about this one's about this, the other one's about this, because it's like you see the baby, wedding ring, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And you think like, oh, okay,
chronological
you start
events.
with like the wedding ring and then you move up to the baby. But no, it was just like I didn't read the desk. And it's like, no, you gotta. It's the first one's about our number one treasure. I'm like, well, okay.
You see, what they should have done, this would have been so much cooler. They should have had multiple film strips hidden places, right? Not just one inside the mouth. That's like, hey, by the way, there's a film puzzle.
Well, no, I knew there was a film puzzle before we even got to the room because you see it there, and there's one
missing.
obviously missing.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, this is a puzzle later.
Yeah, they should have hidden the film reel sections, and they should have had clues in the audio parts that you're listening to about the film.
Yeah, Mia talking.
Yeah, you have Mia talking in the thing, but nothing she says matters because it's all bullshit.
It's all fake.
It's not real. It's just there to fuck with Ethan. It doesn't fuck with you because as a player, you know everything's fake, but he apparently believes it at face value. But yeah, they should have had clues in there to give that section value. Otherwise, you just don't listen. Second playthrough, Matt just kept going through everything, not even listening to what it was saying, because at this point, you're just kind of like going from place to place to finish the job. Because there's no other thinking that's required. You just have to arrive and be there. But it would have been cool if you had to find the film reel stuff and then like listen to clues inside the audio. I thought that would that would have been cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog's squeaking a toy. I just was making sure if you could hear it or not.
No, we couldn't hear it at all.
But yeah, we
Okay,
can move
good.
on. Puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles kind of disappointing. Didn't really feel like they were important. Just felt like they were there. Yeah. Okay, so general mechanics. So we got, I guess, gun upgrades, cooking,
Yeah, the progression.
the progression of the game.
The cooking came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I think it's a nice little twist from Resident Evil 4 where you could kill like the crows and the fish and get like items from them. And the fact
Yeah.
that, and they kind
I
of like
thought that was
just did
cool.
that and like added more to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember coming across chickens and stuff, and in most games, you have to check. You're like, can I kill the chicken? And then you can, and then you got food from it, and I'm like, wait, what?
Can I make a sandwich with this?
And then it begins the only reason why we ever had any inventory issues, which was because of picking up food. And
Yeah, I had no idea that you could just give him the food
and have him hold on to it.
and have him hold on to it. I thought.
Did you know that? You can have
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you can bank the food in the sections and not have to have it in your inventory. But we didn't realize that till the very last thing you had to make.
Oh, you can like, I see. You can like give him parts of a meal and then he'll take. I see. Gotcha. I
Didn't
never
know.
had a problem with inventory space, but
I was
Probably
also
'cause there's
carrying
just
around my guns, like old guns, for a while.
Yeah, Matt didn't sell the
Oh.
old versions of things. I think it's because we expected there to be more of a difference in like playstyle compared to, but no, they're just like a straight upgrade, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, no. The cooking was a cool touch to have like permanent upgrades.
I thought that was really cool. I liked it.
The gun upgrades, another homage, well, not homage, I guess, but like another call from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
They did take the thing where like if you upgrade, I can't remember if this was 4 or 5 or fucking whatever. There was another game where if you upgraded the weapons all the way, you get like infinite ammo. So I think that's another cool thing they added on to this as well.
Mhm.
Even though like you unlock the cool weapons after beating the game, and then
Right.
you can just make those. But that's a
Well, more of a reason to keep playing, dude.
yeah, no, that's for sure. Yeah, just to get those completion points. But gun upgrades are cool. Cooking was cool. The I I like that they added the attach a case. It's better than the Resident Evil 7 menu. I just kind of I don't know. To me it didn't seem like it was like that used. I guess I don't know. I mean, no complaints about it whatsoever. I just don't really know how to feel about it. I guess it was like that's neat, but I don't know if that really.
Oh, the attachments?
No, not the attachments. The case itself. The whole attach a case system. You know.
The backpack?
I don't know. Yeah.
We're not
Yeah, whatever.
understanding the word you're using.
Yeah, I don't know what word you're saying.
Attaché.
The attach a case is the briefcase that you bring around with you.
Right.
That is your backpack.
Right.
quote unquote.
Gotcha.
Your inventory.
And Resident Evil 4, it was just called the attach a case. I thought it was called the attach a case in this too. So that's why I keep saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
got
trying
you.
to be cool or anything. I just
No.
I
Yeah,
thought
you were
that's
just
what it was
using
called.
your advanced knowledge of Resident Evil 4 to and we were just not getting it because we're like, wait,
Yeah.
attach a
So your
case, I don't know.
backpack, attach a case, inventory system, whatever you call it. I just thought it was a cool homage from Resident Evil 4. I just don't know if it really added anything to it.
No, in fact, actually, I would
it is an
argue
improvement from Resident Evil 7, but it's I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like just a completely different inventory system whatsoever would have been fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I think my main gripe with it is that there is no auto sort, and it was very tedious to have to move stuff around. You didn't have problems with space, so I guess you probably didn't run into this, but you had to move things one by one like older games. And I think they should have just had, maybe even if they had you buy an auto sorter, I think Matt would have bought it immediately, because it's just like, I just want to be able to have everything just sorted appropriately, but then as you play, everything just kind of gets put wherever, and it's like, it's all messy. And we had a couple of times where like there was like a 2x2 square thing that didn't have a spot to put it in. You had to move shit out of the way and like move all the 2-slot stuff in like weird little nooks just to make room for stuff. And it's like, that is unneeded. It's not like, why is that an obstacle still in this game? It doesn't move the story forward. It doesn't do anything. There's no purpose to it, really. I mean, just like have you auto sort.
At that point, I mean, like, if they added an auto sorter, though, then like, what's the point of having the attach a case? You know, but like,
well, to limit your space over time that you had to buy, right? That's the only reason you would have it. But yeah,
I'm just saying, like, you could just do that with like a regular inventory system.
That's true.
I just mean, like, I think I agree with. I mean, like, I don't agree with you. I don't think an auto sorter would have been handy, but I think they should just got rid of the whole backpack thing itself. Well, I feel like half the fun of the attach a case is like sorting stuff and like putting stuff in nooks and crannies and like organizing it the way that you like to. Some people like to put everything like in one section at the bottom or something, or on top, or try to just push it all in a corner. It allows the way to express yourself in the game, but it just use a regular inventory system that you can like, okay, now you can add like 7 slots if you upgrade it or whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, I don't even think they use the benefit of the whole system anyways.
Because all your key items and stuff, yeah.
Like, well, no, not even then. You couldn't, like, I know in RE4 you could unload weapons, you could edit your shit.
Yeah.
In this, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't unload previous pistols. Like, you get to, if you have 2 pistols on you, like say you have the 1911 and then the newer one afterwards, you can't get the bullets out of the 1911. You can't unload them. So you just like if it's a full mag, you just lose all 10, 12 bullets that were in there, and that's it. You just lose them.
And then like the attachments, like you buy them and then you attach them.
And that's it.
No, there's
it doesn't even change the size in the case. It just attaches them.
Yeah.
Which I think they probably could have done more with that. Like, I guess like we were saying, they could have really utilized
like
it.
They only like half-assed it.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we ran into problems is because I didn't know you could give him the food.
It's true. Yeah, that was the only real reason we had any issues was because
and I didn't know you could I didn't want to sell my guns because I
just wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Like, are these straight upgrades? Do they outclass, it later? Like,
because some games, like, you might have like the second version of something, like the
does
second
something good,
it's
compared to your other one, but the other one also does something, it fires faster or some shit.
I guess you were expecting more nuance.
Like they do this, but they don't do it like a lot.
That's your roguelike brain thing going on there. No, it's usually generally just a straight up. I mean, most Resident Evil games is just like a straight upgrade from like 4 to now. Yeah, like Resident Evil 1 through 3 was like these are the new. This is a different weapon. You had like a pistol, and you had a shotgun, and you had like whatever else. You didn't have like 5 types of shotguns or
you had like flamethrower.
But
you had there were different weapons. Yeah.
But I do remember now that you mention it, the key for like upgrading the weapons in Resident Evil 4 was that they did unlock special things. They unlocked like a special upgrade that you can get that's only for that weapon. So that actually makes sense if you knew that, but you didn't. So I don't know what your fucking problem is. So I don't know. I'm kidding. But I agree with you 100%. They have asked it. They should have either done more with the attaché case or just not have done anything with it at all. Because it was just like, no, guys, it's Resident Evil 4. We did it. I'm like, we already know we're shooting fucking wolf people in the village. We're not in America. That's we know you're trying to do a Resident Evil 4, man. We get it.
Yeah, we were in the cabin with the old man at the beginning too.
Yeah.
All right.
We were there.
We know you ripped that right out of Resident Evil 4.
The only difference is you can understand this guy. Did you notice that you only had 8 fingers the entire time? Oh my god, or 8 fingers?
Oh, I did not.
I didn't put that together. No, I mean I knew that you only had 8 fingers because I saw them get removed, but I didn't put it together. That was a clue or a reference.
Yeah, and Lady D sucks your blood and says that you're stale because you're already dead.
Oh, holy shit!
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I figured that. I thought that was like mold related or something, but I didn't think. Yeah,
she's like, oh.
I obviously didn't know that. Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
The way she talks about it too is it's like you still got some like life in you. It's like when you find like some milk in the fridge and you're like, it's technically past due, but I could probably still drink it.
Make sure you sniff your man blood before you drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's some other general mechanics we can talk about real quick. I think the exploring was done really well. I had a lot of fun exploring.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Dark Souls, just the way like there's like the 4 lords and you have to go to each of their domains to.
It is kind of Dark Souls, right? Yeah. There's there's definite like partitions between areas, and I feel like it was really cool that there were some areas you would go back and there'd be something new. I mean, there's only really one big one, which is when you go back to that grave on the Beneviento portion. You have to fight that guy and open up that casket with the broken slab. And you go back and there's like a new like kind of skill check there. It's like, there's this dude and you got to kill him and he takes lots of hits.
I don't think I got to that guy. I was wondering
really?
Well, the thing was I didn't have like I never found the front part of Donna's name, so I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh, so
up in the game.
You remember in the village you have the
graveyard.
Yeah, the graveyard. There is one thing that you can't open, but there's an item inside of it. Yeah, if you after you get through a certain part of the game, how do you even open it? Like it's just
after
open.
It's open after the
Donna bit, right?
Yeah, after the Donna.
Yeah,
bit.
You go in there, you grab the broken slab, and then you go back across the rickety bridge, and then at Donna's grave site, there's like a big boy with like a huge hammer,
Huh.
and Matt lost
All my ammo
all
except
your
for 3
ammo?
bullets.
Just trying to kill the guy.
The big boys, yeah.
Yeah, and this is early on too. Like
This is right after the house.
yeah, right after the dollhouse, and so like it's kind of like
I
a
thought
like an up. Yeah.
I thought the cannibal that was like on the way to some other place. I think on the way to
Was it in a big meat house?
Heisenberg. Yeah,
Yeah.
Heisenberg or not Heisenberg. Yeah, Heisenberg.
Mhm.
Yeah. On the way to him, I fought the giant cannibal there. Yeah, and I lost all of it was gone. I didn't have anything. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I'll just
While we're here,
stab people for a while.
yeah. So, well, anyways, I thought it was cool. I better finish my previous thought that with the exploration, you could go back to places and some stuff was different, or you had to retread other ground as stuff would unlock, or you got access to stuff very Metroidvania-esque, right? You like revisit areas and all that, right? But we were talking about enemies before, and I feel like we missed talking about it, and I wanted to discuss your thoughts with it. What do you think of Propeller Boy?
Oh yeah, I hated Propeller Boy.
Yeah, he was just like a giant bullet sponge. Like, if he had like half the
Like
health
worst
that he did,
boss
I think I'd be fine
design I
with him.
think I've ever seen. Not true,
Man.
but
Not true, but it felt like it, right?
like you couldn't get him to charge you
Yeah, he was really
consistently.
yeah, like you think you would figure out what you would do to
really?
get him to charge you, and then he would just like yeah. He in fact sometimes he would charge at you, and then not just do the charge where he runs and stuff. He would actually turn and follow you still.
He
sometimes.
turned on a dime.
Yeah, he turned really fast for us.
For someone who's a propeller bitch, sure seemed like he had some good eyes.
I think that was probably the hardest boss Matt ran
Yeah.
into in the whole game.
Same here, because I think it's besides Miranda the only boss to kill me, but also it would just took forever to kill him. He just had so much health for some reason. I don't know. I
Even
didn't
when
like
you
him
find
either,
the
but-
weak point and shoot him in his engine ass or whatever, it's like it still took a lot of times to kill him. And I remember he still scared me so much with like how bullet spongy he is and like how just unstoppable he seems that when you come across him in Mercenaries, I'm like, oh shit, how are they gonna do this? And it turns out no, you just fucking kill him. In Mercenaries, he's like way lower.
No.
Yeah.
I figured that out with like the daughters you fight in the castle. I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is
Yeah, they
everybody's
definitely
kinda, like,
changed the
toned
difficulty
down.
there. Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
everybody's
was an
kind of,
asshole,
like,
wasn't he?
clowning that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah, no, not a
Definitely
big fan of
worst
Propeller
boss.
Boy. Yeah. For sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the idea was there. It was nifty to have like a room that got broken down over time as he charged at you. I thought that idea was cool. The execution bad. Also, you better not be like even a pixel outside of position when he shoots his fire, otherwise you're going to be on fire. It felt like it curled around corners sometimes. But yeah, it took a long time and was like
Not fun.
not fun. Yeah, it wasn't because like you already solved the problem, but then it was just like getting him to chase you and then getting him to have his ass face you, but he always turned. He wouldn't just stop turning. But yeah, I just wanted to take a moment and appreciate the hardest boss of the game. Cool. Do you want to go to? We have a likes and then a dislikes section. It's kind of made broad and open, but it's. Did we have anything that we wanted to mention? Like we kind of been talking throughout the game, talking about what we liked, but is there anything specific where you're like, I really like this thing about the game?
Yeah, I think we should keep this part short just because we, like you said, we've been talking about the game. So it's kind of like, so let's just do like 2 or 3 things, real quick things that we like and then dislike or whatever, and then I guess go from there. But if that makes sense to you, I mean, since we've been
that
talking
makes
about
sense.
everything
Yeah.
else, yeah. So likes, oh shit, no. Depending on like 3 things is a bit more difficult than I thought. But basically, I like the setting, basically everything to do with the setting, like graphics, the way they present it, all that yada yada yada.
Yeah, the Duke's menu looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Duke's menu in his shop.
Gameplay's fun as hell. It's just fun to shoot the zombies, even though sometimes they take like 30 hits. It's just like fun, like, oh shit, this guy's got fucking jetpacks. Okay, what's his fucking weakness? Where do I shoot him at? Where's his glowy spot?
Yeah.
Just like, oh. That and then just what they've added to it so far, like the mercenaries, the new game plus, like and making it kind of easy to like unlock stuff. Not easy, I guess, just more accessible to unlock stuff. Like you have like you know what you need to get, and it tells you what you need to get, or like how many points you need and what
A very
points you need to
clear
get.
goal and steps to the goal. Yeah.
So I think they just done an overall pretty good job with that. So that's my 3 off the top of my head.
Right, Matt. 3 overall likes, takeaways.
I like the exploration.
Mm-hmm.
I like the enemy variety. I thought the enemies were really cool. I basically like the whole game. Like,
yeah,
I think the
that's
whole
the part
game,
I was having a hard time just saying.
like,
I was like, how do I just say I like the game? But
like, there's not like I complain about like a lot of shit, but that's just super nitpicky. I think overall the game is like a 9 out of 10 for me. I really liked it. Everything about it was good,
same here.
except for Ethan.
Yeah. So it's crazy that you
But
have a 9 out of 10 despite Ethan. Like, imagine if Ethan was smart. His decisions
Yeah,
made
I
sense.
think. Well, I think my issue is like all the human characters: Chris, Ethan, the townspeople, like the 5 that get yeeted immediately.
Yeah.
Besides Mia, are all horrible.
Yeah,
but
yeah, dumb.
You know, other than that, I think like everything is super solid. Everything is fun.
I have one that I'll say because I didn't play the game, so I feel like I'm probably not gonna have as many as you guys. But I think the one thing that I enjoyed a lot was how the collectibles are very clear for the most part of what's like part of a series of things, and I thought it was kind of fun to collect certain stuff and take like gems out of certain items and put them in other items and think, okay, so here's this item that it says it's valuable, but then it's also combinable. So like, okay, cool. Now we got to look for this thing to combine with it. I thought that part was kind of like a neat little thing where it was like, oh, this has more parts to it, which means it'll give me more money. You know, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, that's one of the more fun homages they brought back from Resident Evil 4. Is that one that they brought that back, and two, like I don't think they tell you in Resident Evil 4. I think it's just like implied. It's like, oh, this crown looks like it has 3 slots in it, but it doesn't say like combinable or whatever. It just says it's a crown with 3 slots.
I'm actually
okay, whatever.
I'm really thankful that they do tell you though, because you could just eat something and not realize it, because everything else is eatable. Like you have all this other stuff you can just like toss or sell.
No,
so I appreciate the fact that they just give that. 4. yeah, I haven't a lot in Resident Evil 4, but I appreciate that they tell you. And then the other thing that's cool that I just remembered was the little labyrinth puzzles with the balls. I thought those were cool.
Yeah, I only got to do 2, but I was just kind of rushing through the story the first time I was playing through it because streaming. But
right.
Yeah, no, those puzzles were pretty fun too. Yeah, I forgot about those.
I did 3. I couldn't find the last one. Like I said, me and Spencer went through the first playthrough totally blind.
Yeah.
And I found all except for 2 documents.
We made sure every fucking house and floor was blue before we left.
So we found all the treasure except for 1.
Yeah. And it was because Matt had, before we knew that there was like a bunch of combinable stuff, I think, Matt, you had sold, or no.
We never found the other bit.
We never went back to a particular room because there's a part of the castle that once you get one part, it's the silver ring that has the azure eye attachment to it in the castle. Once you get the past a certain point, you have to go back down into the depths and then blow apart a wall, and then there's like a whole other area where you find like a goat statue and you find the azure eye, and that's how you finish that one out. Yeah, and so we just never went back for it. That's I think the only combinable that you missed, and yeah, so it was that, and then a good number of the goats we missed.
I wasn't really looking for the goats.
We weren't really like looking for them, and they're in weird spots too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're the little guys you gotta shoot. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that on my second playthrough here. Just kind of go through everything and have fun shooting zombos. But yeah, the not getting everything in blue was definitely like scratching the ADHD part of my brain or my fucking completionist thing. I was like, I want to do it, but I can't because I just want to beat the game. But if I beat the
Right.
game unfinished, oh god, my soul. And
Ooh,
I just took the hit. I have
yeah.
-2 soul now, so I am watch out for that. No.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to go over the dislikes or just skip that? Because we've been kind of like going over
I
dislikes.
just want to reiterate that all my dislikes are. I think most of our
Ethan?
dislikes are really nitpicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
We can do a
it
quick
doesn't
3
hurt
again
the
if you want, but
game.
yeah, I think we've mentioned them.
Yeah.
Like basically at all. I think I liked the story. It was good.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people were like, I cried when Ethan died. I was like, I clapped. But we had different.
All right.
different emotional
We
responses.
had different emotional responses.
I
but
was
that's
hooping
just,
and hollering. I got pissed off when I had to play him again. I was like, damn it,
Mhm.
not again.
I do want to say
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed the intro, the Tim Burton style intro, and then how it ties up at the end during the credits where they have more to it. Did you see that part where at the end they go back through it in a song, but then they continue the story afterwards, and you see there's like a whole second half of the story that isn't told in the beginning that you're not privy to, and all of the characters in the story are allegorical to all the characters you fight. I thought that was just like a cool way to tie everything together as like this fantasy.
yeah, I knew
folk
that
tale.
from like immediately.
Yeah, I just didn't put it together in my brain.
that spider and
The spider and the horse person because it
Mhm.
matched up with their house things and everything. There's just a lot of cool synergy with the way that they kind of bookend it as like this folk tale, and it makes you realize that that's what they're telling. They're kind of telling like a folk
and
tale.
it also tells you that Miranda is the Mia.
It does. Yeah. I thought it was cool.
Oh yeah, and tells you that Ethan dies and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, I think all my dislikes kind of like align with Matt's as
Did
far
you-
as character development and stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead. I don't have anything else to add. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add. Did you see like the post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure because you just said you saw the. You acted like the mandatory credit scene was cool new info or whatever. So I was just making sure that you saw the post
The actual post-credit scene where she's like, where the daughter is now a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure. But before, I was gonna just make you watch a YouTube video real quick or something. But yeah, no.
No.
I was
we
like,
saw it
before
all.
we go any further, okay, no, all right.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if you could skip that accidentally or not. That's why I made sure just to say so. Well, that because you could skip the credits, so I wasn't sure if the second half of the storybook portion was skippable or not. So I just wanted to make sure to mention it. But I thought it was cool, like how it ties everything together. I thought it was nifty. Just good storytelling, I feel, in my book. But
yeah.
Cool. So we can talk about the PS5 port versus the PC.
Not versus, just as we
like,
played two different ones.
We played different ones. So I guess any.
I mean, we've kind of
differences?
mentioned a few things about it so far. I don't really. I mean, it's hard to tell like what's a bad, if it's like a bad port or if it's just my computer being weird with the game. But like the only noticeable thing I had was my computer chugged whenever I got surrounded by bugs. Like when the bugs like actually attack you. I knew when I was getting hit because the game itself would like freeze for like a second or two. I was like, oh, there's the hit.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah,
but I think that's just my computer. But
no FOV slider. A lot of people had to mod it in, and which is insane because like the FOV is so fucking shallow.
Yeah, it's real shallow.
It's so
it's very
like
narrow.
Like it took me like an hour or so to get used to it on the PS5.
It probably doesn't help that
I didn't.
The TV is pretty large too, so it's like makes it worse.
Maybe that's I didn't really. I knew that was a thing, and like it was kind of weird in like some cutscenes, but I didn't get I didn't really adjust it or anything.
You can.
I didn't download I didn't download the mod or whatever. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because like somebody modded that like immediately. I guess.
Yeah. And then like there's loading times on other platforms. We got no loading.
Yeah, it was immediate. Like you start
there
the
was
game.
no loadings. I've never seen a loading screen.
Yeah.
So when you were I forgot that the shit had loading screen. So you're like, you get like little tidbits of shit, like little
tooltips.
Not even tooltips. They're little story beats.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
It's legitimately didn't see those screens.
We're in the like the new era of like additional QA stuff where they're gonna have to figure out like, okay, should they automatically load or should there be a prompt to load? I don't know. I feel like in 7
Right.
there was, unless maybe that was just like because you died and then you had to like load back in, you could press X or whatever. But
I remember something like that. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's a fun day and age where we're like, oh god, our machines are running too good. There's no load times. We can't read the thing. What? Give us an option,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it was crazy because I remember when Matt opened it up. I think for the second I think it was the second time, could come back into the game or whatever.
You hit continue,
Hmm.
you're in the game.
Yeah, the game just starts. You just hit continue, and
Yeah.
it's just like a fade screen. Now you're in. You're in. It's like
Hmm.
immediate.
We played with it's like we played with RTX on, so 60 frames, 4K, but like the 4K textures are kind of weird because they're not
Yeah.
4K. They're like 1080p up-resed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the game, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Game looks good. For
Like,
sure.
not even
Hmm.
looks good. Like, the game is probably like one. It's up there with Demon Souls. Demon Souls, I think, still looks better because it was built for
Yeah, it was built in, like with 4K. Like
PlayStation in mind.
yeah.
Yeah, it was built
Yeah, for
for
sure.
Yeah, it was built to get perfected on one system. Yeah.
But yeah,
I do enjoy like
it looked really good.
I don't know if did you have like option sliders for the PC or the PS5 port? I don't know if they would or not, but like you've played the
What
other like you played
specifically?
like Resident Evil 2 and 7 on the PC, right? Or not?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you know like if you can like adjust some of the options and it gives you like it shows you how much of a load your CPU is going to take depending on like what
Oh.
you adjust.
No, that's not on
Yeah.
PlayStation.
That doesn't show up on the PlayStation.
Okay. Well, I was about like I was thinking that I'm like, or I was going to ask you that. Then I was like, oh well, that wouldn't make sense. But there, like
Right.
PS5 has like a performance mode, right, or something like that, or
On certain games.
certain games.
Like now
Okay.
now you have options where you're like you want quality or performance or whatever. This was literally like you want RTX on and HDR on
Yeah.
or off. And with
Ah, okay,
RTX
gotcha.
on, it got a little framey during the water parts. And like for some reason, like the village, and when you walk by the goats' heads that are all hanging, it got a little framey there. Other than that,
Hmm.
constant 60 at like
Yeah.
4K with
it was pretty
RTX.
smooth. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, no, it definitely feels like the PC was like more of a not even an afterthought, but it definitely wasn't like the main concern. I feel like the PlayStation
I also think
consoles were
making it
probably
for
more focused on.
yeah, the big difference between console games and PC games, I think the easiest thing with console games is you make one version of it and it works on everyone's consoles because everyone has the same console, right? Like allegedly, right? It's
Yeah.
with PCs, there's so many more variables to have to account
Mm.
for.
Yeah.
And also you can take some of the brakes off a little bit with PC games. So sometimes I feel like they take the brakes off in PC games, and people who have computers that should be able to run it just fine might have more issues because they're like, well, they're on a PC, so obviously they're gonna have a fucking god of a computer, which isn't always the case. But yeah,
Right.
all
All
right.
right.
So end game content, Mercenaries, New Game Plus, what's this called? I'm not gonna say it's CP score store, but like what is the something points? What is it?
I don't remember
I
what
think
they're called.
completion points.
Completion
Completion
points.
points.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the worst acronym.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think the end game content it's not bad. I feel like it's pretty good.
We forgot to mention the like before the end story or whatever, the post credits scene with the story
Yeah, I mean,
section.
we can talk about it here since this is in game.
That
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say I just want to mention that before we get into like the fun goofy
Extras.
unlockables or whatever.
Yeah.
The
Right.
fun stuff. The fact
Yeah.
that Rosemary is an adult and you don't know if that's like because they don't tell you like a specific time like after so when the scene starts it like fades into like a girl on a bus or whatever wearing Ethan's jacket reading the Village of Shadows book and you're like, oh shit, well we know who this is probably assumingly
Mhm.
and yeah, it's Rosemary. So it's just kind of like, is it like 3 months later and she has like the Evelyn thing where she can like age rapidly, or is it like 18 years later?
Right.
Who's the
She
guy
mentions
walking towards the
Chris.
car?
That's
Huh?
Ethan.
The guy walking towards the car
That's Ethan?
hmm
in the post credits scene?
No.
How do you-
But the story of the father is done.
She's like he's part of the mold and she's part of the mold. He's not actually there.
Oh, it's gonna be like a dad's inside my brain thing.
Yeah, that's why she goes and she's like all familiar with him.
Right, because
she's never met him
that's
in her
true.
whole
I
life.
thought that was weird how she was
But
like, "Hey,
he's
Dad,
just like-
what's up?"
Yeah,
But it's because she does know. him.
she's connected to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or at least,
I didn't
look,
realize
I'm
that
not.
was
It's not
Ethan, but,
confirmed that that's him, but people were like, did the things on the PC where you data mine the shit, and it's
like
the
the
same
prevailing-
character model.
Oh, really?
Oh God. Fucking PC miners.
so that's the prevailing theory then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that makes sense because how else
Yeah.
would she fucking know anything about Ethan?
Yeah.
You think Chris is over there talking? No, he doesn't say shit.
Your dad was a good man. You know, at first I thought he was an idiot, but then he beat Miranda, and I was like, "That's
Not
pretty
an
good.
idiot.
It's a pretty cool guy." And I felt really bad about not just telling him stuff. So now I feel responsible in being your dad now. So,
Right.
step Chris.
Okay, that's yeah. I knew like I didn't think anything of it when she said like I know because you saw when you were playing as Ethan and you were like when you put down the first like baby slot or whatever you want to call it, the fucking jar, you get like a memory of Rose's when she gets captured like from her vantage point. So I was like, oh, so like now he's like semi connected to her. And then, like, when she said that at the end, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, well, okay, that just kind of solidifies it that, she basically either has his memories or has most of his memories or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A lot to see and to see what's going on. I think they might be I think what they're trying to do, because it seemed like they were trying to do with this game too, is they're trying to make like a regenerable protagonist so that like all kinds of fucked up shit can happen to you and you're still fine. So,
yeah, I think that's really cool. Actually, I think it's. I thought it was awesome that your hand gets cut off and you're like, what? You know, and then he's able to put it back on without even like second thought, right? Which is funny. But I thought it was cool that you're trying to move something and your hand gets cut off and it's like, holy shit, what the hell? You know, that's.
I imagine
visceral.
People who haven't like watched to play the 7th game and didn't watch the thing were like, what? This is stupid as hell. I mean, like, yeah, it is, but not in the way that you think it is. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stupid, but just in
stupid,
context, it makes perfect sense.
There's a
the
reason.
context is stupid too,
but there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to bring that up. I didn't know if you guys had any theories. I haven't like actually scoured the internet since beating the game,
Right.
Because I spent so long trying to avoid it. So I need to go into those Reddits and do some diving, see what kind of stupid shit people have mind for now.
I think I liked it. I thought again, it's like the humans. They just write them so stupid, because like her guardian or whatever is like a name that I shouldn't call you.
Yeah.
Triggers lady, and then should we shoot her? And then he's like, nah, she's just a kid. Motherfucker, it was your fault.
Yeah.
All you had to say was not what you said.
Yeah, he was like
Evelyn, was it?
Yeah, Evelyn, yeah.
He said Evelyn,
He like picked a fight with
her.
For no reason.
Right.
Yeah, he's just like an asshole.
And
like,
I think that was all so that she could be like, I know I can do shit that Chris doesn't know about.
Yeah, just so you can have the line, right?
But I was like, she's way more badass than Ethan ever was.
Yeah. Matt's like, I can't
Like,
wait
I
to play
felt
Resident Evil
that
9 and get like a sick character to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're definitely gonna do some crazy shit with her. Yeah, it was weird that he was like, I get that she I guess ran off to go visit Ethan's grave or whatever. But yeah, if you're dealing with like a super bioweapon lady, like again, like this kind of like leads me to believe that she's like much younger than we think she is because of like how she acted out, and also like him calling her a kid.
Yeah, and then also them like not having the amount of knowledge that you would expect them to have. Having if she like grew up for like 8 to 10 years with them, or or 18 years or 16 years.
They knew that she was gonna be there. He's like, I found her, and he's like,
oh yeah, guess where?
Yeah.
Like she's been here before.
Yeah, she's definitely been there before.
It's just like they don't treat her like they've been raising her. Like if they've been raising her and like for like a long time, then they would know what her capabilities are more than I think. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is kind of a toss up. Like it could be a few years, it could be a few months. Like it's hard to tell.
Or it could just be normal and it was just weird.
Yeah, it could just be like, no, for real. She's like 16. It's been 16 years, and
It was
Yeah,
weird.
right. I
the
don't
guy's
know.
just stupid.
He just said
Because
something
that would
dumb.
be crazy. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. He said something dumb to trigger her.
Yeah, just to be an asshole.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it would be crazy that they aged up the entire RE universe like 18, 20 years when we haven't seen like we've only seen Chris for like 2 games in a row, and then everybody was in 5 or in 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be crazy that like they would have, severely age up everybody,
Uh-huh.
and then not have shown any of the other characters for a while. Like
Oh, right. Like the show
it'd be weird like if like out of nowhere Leon would just shows up with like a gray beard and gray hair and he's like, I'm protecting the president, damn it. God damn it.
I'll do it. No, I got my bad hip.
Ada Wong's over there with a rocket launcher and her walker.
Right, yeah.
Her
It's like,
her
oh,
walker
did you miss
launcher.
me, Leon? Flips hair or
I'm
whatever,
sexy. You're
and
like,
then,
not
throws it on her back.
anymore. Not. It's not really not doing it for me, Ada.
Yeah, that would be
So,
weird, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're. Yeah, you make a
Oh,
good
yeah,
point
no,
with
that's-
that. Where yeah,
Yeah. I mean, they might do it. We don't know. We don't know anything, and that's like
it's true.
part of,
They
like-
could just age everything up and have years go by, and then have them just kind of refer to the characters, or just not have them. You know, they could be like, yeah, Ada died, and it was crazy, or now she's old and she just like does her thing. And now maybe she could go to Ada as like a female, because I'm assuming you're gonna play as the daughter in the next game. So like you could use that character differently now that she's older. There's definitely things they could do with it, but yeah, I see what you're saying with that.
Yeah,
So
it's just
in-game
interesting to see where they're going to go from here. But yeah, the rest of the in-game stuff, Mercenaries, I've only played a little bit. I haven't SS'd everything. A lot of fun. It's that's another thing that didn't steal, but they took from Resident Evil 4 and basically kind of perfected it. It's just a lot more fun in this version.
It is really cool, and now it's time for you to know the keys to the kingdom, dude. It's called sniper rifle.
Yeah, but I'm bad at aiming.
No,
you don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You just hit him just hit him wherever, anywhere.
Yeah,
it does so much damage.
You sell for the first 3, right? There's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the first one there's 3.
No,
stages.
I'm saying not stages. I'm talking the 4 before you get to the village 2.
Oh, before you get to the Mad Village, the first 3 like sections.
No, there's 4 total normal stations, and then you get to Village 2, so including Mad Village.
Oh, including Mad Village. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you just use the sniper rifle. You sell shotgun. You upgrade the sniper rifle. Never reload it before you exit, because then you get you get full ammo if you up the capacity.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah, that way you get more bullets out of it. Because you might run into a couple of you have to know where the sniper bullets are located on the map so that you can pick them up, because there are if you don't I think in the machine in the factory section there is a couple of times where you might take more bullets than you would like to kill somebody, so you kind of need to know where those bullets are. But besides that, it's really the only like hiccup you run into, I think, with the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you one shot like everything.
Yeah, you one shot the sisters or the daughters. You one shot the mechanics or the weird Terminator machines.
Yeah,
it's fun too.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, the sniper rifle mode dies.
Yeah.
So once you get to Village 2, it's like different. You like go shotgun or something.
But yeah, it's not what you expect, right? Because like you expect with the sniper rifle, you're
because I went shotgun first, and then I went pistol, and I wasn't like, I was getting like A's and B's. Sniper rifle. Yeah, you just like FC everything, and it's super dope.
Yeah, because what's great about it is it's good kind of close range and it's good long range.
Yeah,
right?
you can panic shoot.
Yeah, you can just shoot from the
hip.
Yeah,
no, I do that in a normal game. I just like if I ran out of ammo with a shotgun or whatever, and I just had medium range people, I would just like, all right, just put it in the middle of the crosshairs and boom, okay, there we go, got him.
Yeah,
no, I've
and you can do that
like
same
panic
here.
shot with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, I think there's only one section where you want to have the pistol kind of upgraded. I think it's the first level of the factory that there's one what am I thinking of, Matt? There's one enemy where you want to take him out with the pistol first instead of doing the sniper rifle.
It's the first level of the factory.
It's the first level of the factory.
The factory sucks. I hate the factory.
Yeah, the factory mercenaries bit, it's so confusing. It's like windy, turny, and you're like, you're always missing a guy, and you have to go back for him. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, that's the unfortunate part I see about the mercenaries is that like there is like the enemies spawn in the same areas. The goal is always the same. So once you memorize that shit, it's just kind of like just you breeze through it or whatever. I mean, the random like traits and whatnot probably help out and probably add like a little bit more variety, which that's a nice twist. They didn't have that in Resident Evil 4. It was just literally like Resident Evil 4. You can select between like different characters who had different loadouts, and
okay.
that was like it, which was cool. You got to like play like as Leon and some other people, and then like people you fought against in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is. I mean, I really enjoy the roguelike elements to it or whatever, where you just have like different traits. I misunderstood. I thought like you only have 3, and then like it would knock one out. But then like I got like 6 in a row, and I was like, okay, maybe I guess that was just me misreading something at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's cool. I agree. I think it's really it's fun. There's something fun about trying to like manage what upgrades you get first over other ones. Like I think we realized that like rate of fire is like really important to grab, because you don't want to have to be like pressing the button to kill someone, waiting for the rate of fire to catch up to you. You want to just be able to do it, you know. But like there's just like making those decisions and kind of figuring that out. There's a lot of fun in that.
You always want to keep like, you don't want to max out like your ammo capacity super quick because you want to get the ammo refill.
You get the free ammo refills and stuff. So you want to like time it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just cool to like go through and think about, for sure.
Cool. Yeah. No, I'm having a lot of fun with that. New Game Plus is also just a lot of fun. I think the game, I feel like Resident Evil is like played. You can like play it twice in a row. Actually, with this one, you could technically do like 3 and have like a completely different experience each time. You know, like the first one you play it normal, get scared at everything, whatever. Your second playthrough, maybe try a hardcore. You know, everything's a little bit tougher, enemies are a little bit stronger, nothing too crazy. And then apparently, like Village of Shadows is not only is it even more difficult, but they also like change where everything's at. They like switch up the items
enemy
and like where
placements
stuff's
and
at.
That's cool.
So like, so I feel like the New Game Plus is like done perfectly, because you get like a normal run, and not even like a power run, but like more of like a fun run, I guess you could say, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you want to play the same game, but just everything's different. You know, you can't like memorize and like shoot your way through or whatever.
And they designed a lot of the stuff, I think, around the thought of you're going to be playing the game more than once, right? Because like in case anyone was worried, all the collectible stuff, as far as whether or not like you need to get every single one of something,
it can happen over multiple playthroughs.
It can happen over multiple playthroughs. So if you got a goat in one playthrough, it's not going to be there in the second playthrough, but the other goats will be there in the second playthrough, and or you know, and it works for all of that stuff. So I thought that was cool how they don't make you just grab everything and be perfect every time. If you didn't get all the files the first time around, as long as you get the files you didn't get last time, you still complete it just fine.
Yep.
Which I thought it was cool. Also, Matt and I discovered a new speed run, which is called was it ball percent?
Yeah, ball percent.
Yeah. So there's an achievement for kicking the ball at the very beginning of the game from the kids' room into your study. There's a little like beach ball. No, it's not beach ball, but like a little kid's ball or whatever, like a playground ball. And you're supposed to kick it into the room. And we're like, there's definitely a speed run there, and it's ball percent, and it's how fast can you get that ball into the room. So that's another kind of fun thing that we discovered.
And that's the new meta. That's the new speed run they're doing. They're going to do it AGDQ.
If we have anything to say, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, ball percentage. Let's go. All right, thank you everybody for watching. We got
it takes
exactly
like 10
$10
seconds.
in donations that entire time, but that's just because it took 10 seconds. But no big
I'm
deal.
being completely legitimate about this. I think it would be actually entertaining because if you can mess
You
it
could
up.
build it up.
Yeah, you can build it up and you can kind of mess it up a little bit, right? Because if the ball gets in like a weird corner, you can't kick it out, right? But there are repeatable lines that Mia says in the beginning while you're carrying the kid that are just funny every time. Because Matt, I think we didn't know where the study was at first, and so we thought you had to put it all the way down the hallway and go around the corner past the banister when actually it's just
into the dusty room. It's not in the dusty room. It's in the same fucking room.
Yeah, it's actually way closer, right? But we thought that's what you had to do, so Matt kept getting it stuck at like
underneath a coffee
dresser
table
or a coffee table or something. And so you had to restart, and then when you restarted, Mia kept saying the same line over again, and it's just funny every time. She's just like, what did she say? She says something about like, "Are you gonna put her down?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." Like it's like every time.
I'm busy. Kick.
Yeah.
Kick,
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah. No, I'm doing it. And you're kicking the ball. Like I don't know. It's just good. I think it would be like
Ethan,
legitimately.
are you doing a ball percent run again? No, shut up.
No, I'm putting her down. No, I swear. Yeah. It's just a good time. Yeah. Hopes for DLC. This is your moment, Fistcake. This whole 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this bitch up soon.
You've been waiting to talk about DLC.
I mean, honestly, I've said it throughout the entire thing. It's already been Jesus. Yeah, no, I feel like what they're doing is that they kind of like made like a very base game, and then they're just going to add onto it with more DLC. It's well, it's not weird. It's different because in Resident Evil 7, they told you there was going to be like additional DLC, even though like they delayed it for like another year or something like that, or like 6 months. I don't remember, but they told you like at the end of Resident Evil 7, they're like, oh yeah, watch out for Chris's Not a Hero DLC. Didn't see anything like that for here, but there's like a bunch of open stuff that I feel like they could do, and probably like even like take stuff from the demos, like where you play as like a random person in like Lady D's castle. I feel like there's going to be like a Mia DLC.
I was reading on the subreddit that there might be like you play Chris's point of view.
Yeah.
Because you only meet up with him like 3 times, but you see his shit.
Yeah, he progresses through something, and it's so Resident Evil to have a B story where you can play at the other side of things.
Yeah, it is, but what the fuck is he doing? He doesn't kill any of the 4 lord. That was one thing I forgot to like mention or like bring up. Like, the fuck are they doing? They haven't done like the entire time you're there. They don't do anything.
They're grabbing like
they're supposed to be doing shit.
Yeah, they're grabbing.
And you can see in their notes, they're like, Alpha's going to whatchamaffuck it, blah 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 blah. Oh, Hound Dog and K9 are going to the OK Corral, and you're like, well, what are they doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm doing all the work, and let me tell you, as Ethan, it's hard.
It's
I keep fucking up.
Regenerating as fast as he can.
Yeah,
no.
Also,
like, I could
the
see
characters don't like none of the bosses or anybody. They don't really talk about Chris.
They don't talk about.
They don't like even.
I don't even think Miranda talks about Chris.
No, he doesn't exist.
No, or Heisenberg.
I don't think they even know he exists until he shoots
Chris
her in the head at the end.
Ethan's mind. No.
Do what?
I was just saying, oh my God, Chris is in Ethan's mind. He actually isn't real.
It's a Fight Club thing.
Yeah. That's why he's so mean to you.
His Tyler Durden is Chris Redfield, puncher of boulders. I thought somebody. Hold on. You keep talking about it for a second. Basically, I feel like everything they're gonna fill in is gonna be with DLC.
Right. Like I feel like Miranda just lives rent free inside of Chris's head, and then Miranda doesn't give a shit about Chris at all. Like he talks so much about her and about how she switched forms and stuff like that, and she doesn't even acknowledge he exists. Like, damn.
Oh yeah. So I'll send you the link, but there is a part where Heisenberg makes a reference to Chris punching boulders. Which is like, I don't even know how Heisenberg would know that or whatever, but
okay.
Yeah, no, it's just a fun. I thought there was like somebody that did talk about Chris, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was Heisenberg. Yeah, he talks about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, so he does exist in the world.
Yeah, so I guess at least one person. I mean, I guess Miranda technically knows since he shot her 50 times in the face or whatever, but yeah, yeah, we keep getting off track here. DLC,
okay.
yeah, I just think they're gonna it would make sense to have like a Chris thing. I feel like they'll have like either like a Mia thing, even I don't know if it'll be like a shooty one. It might be just like kind of like a giant escape room thing, like the Doll Mansion or whatever.
Yeah.
And they might just add character. It'd be cool if they added characters to Mercenaries too, but I don't know.
Well, they
At
had
this
a
point, I'm just kind of
full.
like adding everything. I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool if they did this and that and that and this. But
Yeah, it would be a shame that if they didn't do a Chris thing, it would be a massive shame because apparently they put a lot of work in to have each of his teammates be like a fully fleshed out character. And they were talking about in the behind the scenes that it was kind of a challenge to try to make that apparent in the short time that you know them. So I have a feeling that there's going to be more of that. I mean, they would have to be more of that with the fact that they put in so much
that
effort.
original Chris part was supposed to be you switching between all the team members' perspectives.
Yeah, it was supposed to be more.
That would have been. I mean, I don't know. I do enjoy that they had like another you don't play as Ethan section, and I do enjoy that it was like 100 times better than Resident Evil 7's don't play as Ethan section. But
yeah,
no, I mean it would have been any more time with these guys, or even just to know, what the hell are they doing? Because it's if, from the base game, it doesn't seem like they did anything besides yell at you for, I guess, doing their job. I don't know. They say you're
yelling
in the way,
at you for
like,
you getting
involved.
Yeah,
when you didn't even know you weren't supposed to be involved because all Chris says is don't.
Yeah.
Don't what, Chris? Don't what?
Yeah, and he also acts like you can just leave. Like you're here now. Like you can't just leave.
Yeah, like where are you gonna go? Yeah.
I gotta get the unborn child key to even get out of the city. Like it's actually not easy to get out of this place.
I had to get 4 masks so I could leave the castle. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
You think I could walk out of here?
8 keys, okay? I had to combine them all.
Yeah. And how's Chris getting around? Like
grappling, he climbs. He's not scared of wood.
Yeah. He punches boulders. He's gonna punch wooden doors.
No, for sure. Yeah. No. I mean, all my realistic things I said at the top, and then I'm just kind of hoping, it'd be cool if they just added everything on there. My number one hope is that Uncle Joe comes back and you can like punch vampires and werewolves. That would be really cool, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I can dream.
You can dream.
I can dream.
All
they
right,
did it once.
They did it once. They'll do it again.
Final score, I'll give it, like you gave it a 9 out of 10. I think that's a completely fair thing. It is very, very good. It's just like a bunch of like little things are kind of like chinking away at the armor or whatever.
Right.
And honestly, like a year from now with all the other DLC and whatnot, we might have to just fucking... That's a whole nother thing, a whole nother topic to discuss.
How does that change
the point?
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you review a game now? Do you wait for the whole thing to come out, or do you just review as it comes out? I don't know.
There are more games nowadays where they're holding back on, like it's more of a games as like a package, where you get like the main bit, but it's only 80%, and you get like the next 20% over time. Like the planned expansions is becoming more and more integral to getting the full experience.
So that'll be an interesting thing to talk about at some point. But as it stands right now, the year of our Lord 2021, I give it a 9 out of 10. It was a very fun game, very ridiculous, and I had a good time the entire time.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. And it was fun to watch and experience. And even though a lot of characters were dumb, they felt like separate people. That's all I was gonna say. Like even though a lot of the characters were dumb, they still felt like separate people. Like they weren't like just stand-in things to
Well, except for the villagers.
Except for the villagers, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, villagers. Oh yeah, honestly, anything with the characters, they just need more screen time, I think. But yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I'd be down to discuss this at a later point, maybe with all the new DLC, because I think it's going to be a fun game. But yeah, we've been doing this for a minute, so.
Yeah. Cool. Well, in that case, 9 out of 10. Great game. If anybody has any opinions about it or wants to let us know, you can in the comments below. Yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching. And all of our socials and stuff are in the description. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.